Hey, what's going on? First off, happy birthday to Dom. He won't be here because he got sick at a pickle party,
Only Dom.
and his wife said he went with his boyfriend. So I don't know what that means. I really don't know what that means. I did wish him a happy birthday yesterday. He seemed fine. I don't know what happened with the pickle party today. I don't know.
If anybody in chat knows what a pickle party is, please let us know.
All I know is Giggle Fett goes, he's going with his boyfriend to a pickle party. I go, what are you? I don't want to know any of this nonsense. So, I don't know. Happy birthday to you. Hopefully the pickle party is, yeah. I mean, hopefully you didn't get too sick, I guess. Right?
I hope not. I hope you had a good birthday.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is.
I mean, is that a thing in New York in the fall, maybe? I mean, it's the fall, right? So maybe canning? Maybe it's like a Renaissance festival for pickles?
I hope you're not canning pickles.
Well, I'm not. No,
I can't imagine Tom canning anything.
No,
let's be clear.
No, but like, no. But you know, like, no, but you know, out here, because you're from the dump state of Ohio. Out here in the great state of Michigan, we have a lot of apple orchards. So, like in the fall, although they open the apple orchards to sell apples and cider to people, they really that's the season. So they're really doing it to distribute it too massively. So I'd assume maybe like, I don't know, cucumbers are ripening up. Maybe they pickle the cucumbers around this time, and maybe they have a party.
It sounds such a bad birthday.
I don't know.
Cucumbers for my birthday.
I like pickles. Well enough, I guess.
I like pickles too. Yeah, I like the they make that what is that, Mount Olive, the kosher sea salt ones. I like those. Nice. But then it ruins it because the rest of the pickles aren't good anymore. All right. Anyways, let's say hi to some of the people. What? I mean, I don't. Does anybody know what the pickle party is? Because I thought it was innocent, and then Wayseeker started cackling like a little kid. I thought it was just like, I'm thinking like Peppa the Pig pickle party, like that innocence. Wayseeker's apparently alluding to some tomfoolery and shenanigans occurring. So
it's Dom you were talking about here.
Yeah, but that's why I think he just went someplace where they're canning pickles, because it's Dom. So he'd be like, yeah.
Why wouldn't you the word canning pickles when you put them in a jar?
Jarring pickles?
Yeah, well, I think canning is the right term, but
canning's the term of the process in which you do to seal the jar. It's called canning, when you take the heat and you put the thing in there and then you seal it so that the.
But you don't say you can beer; you say you bottle beer. Just saying.
Well, I don't know if the process is the same. I guess I don't know. The only thing we make is moonshine, and yeah, we do canning out here a little bit. What are we talking about? Hey, welcome to another Sunday. We're trying to figure stuff out here. But definitely happy birthday to Dom. Hopefully you enjoyed your pickles. I mean, that stuff's made with something like you can get sick from it. So probably he had too many pickles. I can see how that can work too.
Ruben thinks it's this pickled theme party with pickled shaped items. That sounds horrible.
What? That is not what I thought at all. I thought it was literally a canning part. Like, what? Hold on. Let's start from the top. Let's say you did that wrong. Hey, GTG Comic was first one in. Hi, thumbs up. Ruben, Star Wars Sunday with the crew. Need all the last rants from you guys. I need to take a Sunday. Yeah, you absolutely do. To spend with you all soon. Perfect. That sounds good. Maybe we can have some of your favorite books we can look over. We do have a list coming up of stuff that Wayseeker overlooked, so we'll talk about some of those books today. We'll also got a walkthrough / story, I don't know, whatever, for Outlaws, because JJ and Wayseeker now put in 600 hours in the game. Tommy Longbox, have a good show, guys. Catch you all in the rewatch. Peace. 3-leaf clover. Cool. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Here we go. Ed LeBeau saying hi for the algorithm. Hi, Ed. What's up, Dwayne? Wayseeker, just look into the camera and renounce nubs. Yes, please.
Never happened.
It's okay. There are people here to assist you with your transition. Yes, I agree. It is he's a terrible character. Darth Nubs wasn't even as great as it could have been. So
he's the future of Star Wars.
Who?
Nubs.
We're in fucking trouble. Mr. Appleman. Hi, everyone. Hi, Mr. Appleman. Happy birthday to Dom. Very good. Dom went back to the steakhouse.
Probably back to IHOP, more likely.
Yeah, I don't think he went back to the steakhouse. Yeah.
Pancake House.
Mm-hmm. I thought a pickle party was pickle themed party, like pickle shaped items. What items are pickle shaped besides pickles? Oh, wait, what?
No.
I'm looking it up, and it's a pickled party. Is like all the food is like pickle pizza, pickle egg rolls, pickle ice cream, pickle beer, and there is a pickle eating championship to see who can eat the most.
Marco was
pickles.
right. It is like an apple festival kind of.
Yeah, it's like an apple festival, right?
So everything is just pickled.
Pickled eggs.
Pickled eggs, yeah.
I never ate a pickled egg before, but now the older I get, you ever notice that like some shit that sounded completely disgusting to you, like no matter what, like
I always remember they used to be like on the bars, like really old bars. Like when I was a kid, you used to go to like the VFW or something.
Yeah, and there'd be
Jar of
pickled eggs.
eggs.
Yeah, I kind of want to try a pickled egg now. Not after everybody else put their fucking hand in the thing, but like maybe if I was the first one to eat some pickled eggs.
Use some tongs, people.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I don't even want to. No, I just if they open a fresh can of pickled eggs, I might try it. But no, I don't want to pickle on the ride on my what? I don't want to pickle on the ride on my motorcycle. What? I don't even know what that means. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. Biggest pickle contest? Oh, Mr. Appleman, I think you're being perverted. Pickled eggs floating in random juice. No, yeah, I mean, I
I thought it was beets. Isn't it like beet?
It is beets. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? It's not
Yeah.
egg?
It was beet juice. Yeah, beet juice. I think.
No, beet juice. It's yeah.
Oh, I like beet juice. I like pickled beets. I like pickled beets. Yeah, and one of my aunts used to. Oh, well, a couple of them do now, but green tomatoes and like this, like sweet pepper, and cut it up in little things, and then you store it, and it's good.
Would you have
But
a
I think
pickle margarita?
No,
Yeah, me neither. That's a
I
thing.
wouldn't mind, but you know, if you put a little bit of pickle juice in martini, maybe I don't know. I don't. Why would you put pickle in? You know what's good? No, you know what? There was a while there in the drinking scene where they'd have these Bloody Marys. As before they did Bloody Mary bars, they'd actually do Bloody Marys, and it'd be like, but they would put like a whole effing meal in there. So it'd be like pickle juice with a whole pickle in there, and then like salami and cheese and peppers and the fucking salad and shit. It was pretty good. It's pretty good. Mute Wayseeker and bring on Vinny the Rod. I'm worried about Vinny the Rod and the pickle parties. But God bless him. Happy birthday to Dom. He's old. He's really old. Let's get into some news. Anybody else have any input on a pickle party? Because I don't.
Nope.
Okay, good. We got to find
News.
it out.
All right. We'll have to hear from Dom.
Here,
about
I'll
what
just. Hey, you know what? I'll text him right now. Oh wait, I don't have my phone on me, but I'm gonna hit him in the message and say, "Hey, what is a pickle party?" Okay.
All right. First off, so Ian McGregor this week was at LA Comic-Con, and he revealed that there are ongoing discussions about a season 2 of Obi-Wan. So it sounds like, after all these failures, maybe they're going back to something that they know will make them money, even though it's going to be bad. So here's his dreams for a season 2, what he wants in it. He wants more flashbacks with Anakin, and he wants to wear the clone armor from Clone Wars.
So like this discussion was just between this ongoing discussion. I think is just between him and Hayden Christensen. I don't think it's a discussion of anything else.
Yeah, what is he talking about?
This was he shared this at the con. He was in one of his panels or whatever. So he did say there are ongoing discussions about season 2, and what he wants for it is more flashbacks and the clone armor. So I think Dom has a direct line to McGregor.
He's getting to that point where I don't know that he can like play like 30-year-old Obi-Wan anymore. Like, I don't think,
Wait, hold on. Is that what the pickle party is? It's actually code word for Dom talking to Hugh McGregor about season 2 of what? None of this makes. Wait, what is this guy saying?
So he wants it to be like a flashbacks because I don't know.
That's what it should have been.
On Tatooine. So you're going back.
That's what it should have been in the first place. That's what the first movie or TV show should have been, instead of him eating whale meat. Like, how cool would that have been? But like, wait, we've passed that. It's way too late now. What are you doing? And when did this come out? Isn't this already season 1 was out what, 2 years ago? 3 years ago?
3 years ago. Yeah.
3 years ago. So it was shot like 5 years ago. So then you're gonna have to shoot again. That's 7 years. I mean,
I am kind of surprised they didn't have him wear like the clone armor At least,
Yeah, he like picks him up or
something
something.
in the show.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's supposed to be in hiding. Like that doesn't work very well if you like, keep your old Jedi uniform while you're in hiding. Like, you can get away with wearing robes. It's a little bit harder to get away with Jedi marked armor.
Yeah, Jedi armor.
Yeah. I don't know. I hope this never happens. I think he's just pushing for it because he really wants it to happen. But he brought it back up.
I was thinking about this today because we had store showdowns, but then we were going through some cards that weren't played, and the Afra card, which is in set 2, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, they're making that card because somebody there likes, like, people. If you see a lot of these people who are like in those positions, even with the cards and everything, because the card sucks, it like absolutely sucks, but it doesn't matter. They got the character there, and they brought Afra to other stuff too. And I wasn't just thinking about her, but I was thinking in general, like, there's this group of like people who are Clone War Order kids who are now like in their 20s/30s, right?
Yep.
Like Clone Wars, the cartoons and everything
Yep.
else, right? And who were introduced to Afra, you know what I mean? So it's 06, so it's like they're like 20 years old and stuff like that, but they probably weren't reading it because they're probably already like, in their teens, so they'd be in like 30, 32. So like they're getting these positions where they're starting to develop characters. And I'll be honest with you, like Pickle Party Boy isn't here, but like I think he probably would love to hear this. Like when Catherine Kennedy retires this year and they move somebody else there, it's going to get a lot younger in the rooms. Like if you think about the rooms like now, like how old is Catherine Kennedy? She's like on death's doorstep. She's like 80 something.
70, whatever, one. But yeah.
Who gives a shit? That's old as fuck. 80, 70, 102, all the same.
Sorry, Kennedy.
Filoni.
You're older than the knob, so you're on death's doorstep. That's the definition.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but then you got Favreau, who, I mean, he was in Swingers back in the 90s and he was in his 30s. So he's got to be about 80 also. So he's halfway to death and 3/4 there. He's got 1 foot in. And little Dave, Dave the Cowboy, isn't that young either. So like, but not just them, like there's people in other positions that we don't talk about a lot, and they're also aging up there and about to age out. So I think we're going to see some of these, like he can want this all he wants. I don't think the 20-year-olds and the 30-year-olds want to see 90-year-old Ewan McGregor playing Clone Wars era Obi-Wan from from their childhood, because they'll not see it as nostalgic. Like some of the things where people grow up and they see their age grow with them, they're okay with it. Like if you grew up with the original series, you'd like to see Luke kind of deep fake because you don't mind because it makes you feel younger. But I don't think that's the same way with this crowd, dude. So we'll see. We will see.
Yeah. I hope this doesn't happen. But I could see with Disney wanting to go back to what they think would be a home run, because this one got a lot of good press. Even though it sucked, people loved it on Twitter. There was no like huge, like there was negative about Reba and stuff like that. It wasn't anywhere like
made the Obi-Wan show. I mean, he's been saying this for years.
Yeah.
So for 5 years now.
But yeah, he did say. But this is the first time he said there's ongoing discussions about a season 2. So that's a little change.
Yeah, like I said, between him and Hayden Christensen, I think.
Could be.
And apparently Ruben and Pickle Party Boy.
So I know Star Wars have taken a lot of heat, but they got numbers last week for merchandise generated from Star Wars sales, and it was more than $1 billion last year.
Wow. I mean, that's it.
Crazy. Crazy on money. So as much as you want to say Star Wars is suffering and Disney's not doing well, they're doing really well financially with Star Wars in the merchandise sector. So
is that like a above or below projection, or that they probably didn't say? Probably
it didn't say, but I mean,
it's still a big number, dude.
It's a huge number for merchandise. I know it's not. That's revenue. It's not like or whatever I'd say. Or income. It's not profits or whatever.
And that's not part of licensing, or it is. I
don't think so. I think it's all like
because it was just merchandise and shit.
It's just merchandise.
They also got those licensing deals that are
right.
Yeah, I mean Nubs obviously didn't sell. Well, you got to think about it like this. Nubs is in the store, so it's sold to the distributor level, and now they're fucking clearancing it, so they'll probably not be a sucker and buy anymore. But
I wonder
Yeah,
which makes more
lightsabers and all that type of stuff. They make so much money on that stuff. So yeah, $1 billion seems like a lot, but it really isn't that much money. But they're making a ton on it.
The fuck you talking to? That's a lot of money.
I'm gonna say, like, think how much they make on lightsabers alone.
That's what I was about to say. I wonder, like, industry standard wise, like compared to like other franchises, if that it really is that much money. But I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, you're talking about, like, let's say what's their market share? I guess is what I'm like. If the toy industry is $80 billion a year industry or something, $1 billion is not that much.
well, I mean, yeah, but it's also a subset. So like, it actually is that much when there's so many people trying to get into it, and so many like, if it's 80, there's tons of different toys.
But still, I mean, you think about your margin's got to be pretty good on this stuff. So
Yeah, it's shit plastic.
yeah,
$305 billion. JJ.
That's what the market is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or globally.
Yeah. But still, your margins are great, and you think about how much you paid for Star Wars, you're making your money back just in merchandise in probably like 10 years.
Yeah, for sure.
So, like, that's pretty awesome. So they're making a ton of money on merchandise. So people could say it's not doing well, but for Disney, it's doing just fine on this front.
Well, that was the point of selling, doing most of the shit, right? It's just advertising so people sell all the time.
So how would you like this one? So before he died, Tupac died, George Lucas actually wanted Tupac to play Mace Windu, but only because he died. That's when he pivoted to Samuel Jackson.
Wait, what?
That's what came out this week. That's what he came out this week and said. He talked about it.
He's just going to say
Tupac. I think he's lying. But what if this is true? What if Tupac was asked to play Mace Windu?
I
mean, he studied at Juilliard. He could probably play it.
Well, I think Tupac. I think Tupac could do it. It's not. Yeah. But I don't think George Lucas, who created the characters that he created, so to speak, was down with multiple cultures, including African American culture.
Definitely not.
He really would have been able to tap Tupac for that role.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure he's like, listen to Dear Mama.
I know George Lucas has that awesome cameo on Beverly Hills Cop 3 under his belt there.
Yeah, but wasn't that in like 98? This is well after the death here, buddy. Wait, so he was like riding with the West Side here? I mean,
I guess so. But in 95, he's probably writing it and he was just listening to California Love.
That doesn't make sense. What year did it come out?
George Lucas land on the
Hold on.
East Coast,
what year
West
did
Coast?
97 when the movie came out.
Oh,
so I was writing it in 94, 95, right when Tupac was everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, so, in the middle of a gang war. So that's right. That's typically how they cast. And if you recall correctly, if I am correct on this, and I think I am, wasn't there some big acting insurance policy too on Tupac? Like there was. You had to take out a pretty big policy for him. And maybe, I don't know, maybe because of the great work he did with, what the hell, was it Bulletproof? Was that the movie with the guy from True Romance, or not True Romance, from the dogs, Mr. White, Mr. Black, Mr. Pink,
Reservoir
Dogs. Yeah, what was that movie?
I don't know.
What's the guy's name? Timothy. I want to say. Where's Pete when you need him?
I don't know what movie you're talking about, dude. You're the worst at describing.
Come on, Cat, help him out.
It's a Tupac movie where the English guy from Stray Dogs was in there.
Harvey Keitel?
It's like his last movie, huh?
Who's not English at all? Was that what you're thinking?
Who? No, not Harvey Cart. No, hold on, dude. Come on.
Come on, chat. Somebody help Michael out.
I don't know actors to save my ass, dude. What are we doing here?
I remember in Above the Rim.
Oh yeah, he had that gang. No, this is towards the end. Bullet.
And he was in a
Gridlock 4. That's what it was. It Gridlock? It was Gridlock. That's
Gridlock.
it. He's in gang related with Steven Skull too. So I mean, that's a great credit to him.
Yeah. Gridlock.
Who's the guy that was in Gridlock? Somebody shout out. Timothy Roth, is that it? Something like that. Yeah, Gridlock.
Oh,
Tim Roth.
Yeah. Huh?
Tim Roth. Yeah, you're right.
Tim Roth is the guy's name. Okay, well, that's close.
You're good.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
So anyway, I'm happy.
Bullet was the name of the movie.
I'm
What was the one
happy
with,
actually that this
Bulletproof
is-
was the one with Damon Wayans and Adam.
not that I'm like the biggest
What
Samuel
was
L.
with
Jackson
Mickey Rourke?
fan, but I did not want to see Tupac play Mace Windu. I don't think.
I think why would you even say this though?
What?
Like Samuel L. Jackson's still alive and he's good and he wants to reprise the role. Why would you
Who knows with George?
like
knows?
what kind of crazy like why he just says some of the dumbest shit.
He doesn't make sense. He just likes to get his name out there. He just wants to be in the news, I think. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't have cared either way. I mean, I just the thing with it is Samuel L. Jackson did a great job. So good.
He did.
Big ups to Samuel L. Jackson. Hopefully you find George Lucas and fucking kick him in the back of the head. He's probably half dead too. How old's he? He's got to be 90.
He's about 80, I think.
I think at this point, hey,
maybe Tim Roth is the connection. He picked another guy from a Tim Roth movie. I mean, that's
maybe.
I mean, like, I get it that like old people really want to be seen and not like their parents, but like, can we just like maybe just run what they say through a filter every once in a while? Like, they're old as shit. Like, I get it. They're gonna say dumb shit. They're gonna say racist shit. It doesn't make it right, but at the same time, like their mind is literally just fucking decaying. So could we just not let them come up and say dumb shit, please?
When Kennedy goes, he's gonna say more dumb shit.
When what?
When Kennedy goes,
when yeah. When she's
like,
gone,
protects him, and so
just wait till
it's gonna be way worse.
The shit that's gonna come out of his mouth is so stupid.
It's gonna be way worse.
Like Filoni's gonna protect him?
No. No, because the Filoni, I think
Filoni's like his biggest.
I know, but I think Filoni will encourage it somehow.
He's a fanboy. He's probably like if you were going to a pickle party and you're going with some dude, it'd be Dave Filoni following you around the pickle party. Like that would be it. Lucas at a pickle party, Dave Filoni following around, taking candid pictures from the background like a creep ball. That's what it would be. Just saying.
Oh man, that's good.
Didn't even know I was in the picture.
All right, so here's an article that came out this week. Is this a good decision? So Star Wars, and not just Star Wars, other IPs similar, Lord of the Rings, other than that, they're considering having focus groups that are centered around toxic fans. They watch it and they have to explain and expect the behavior of toxic fans and how that's going to affect the project. So they can go back and review it or fix it or be prepared for what toxic fans are going to do.
You're chasing the fucking... First off, there's no such thing as toxic fans. Yeah, there's no such thing as toxic fans. There's fucking trolls. They've been there for fucking ever. They're just louder and more in your face. Just mute them like everybody else. Like, this is the one... Like, you could talk all the shit you want about Catherine Kennedy. Here's the one thing that she fucking does good. She don't give a shit about trolls. Like, zero's given. It's not that she doesn't even hear it. She doesn't hear most of it, but the stuff she does too, she's like, yeah, like, look at my checks. And that's what you got to do. If you keep carding, like these people aren't watching your product anyways. They're not spending money with you. The majority of people who are complaining about this stuff don't spend money with you. They won't get out there. It's like the Dom incidents with they have a female character in a video game. Yeah, fucking every video game's got a skin where you can be a female. What are you talking about? Like, but he's never going to play the game. Not to shit on him on his birthday and all, but like, who cares? If you start, dude, I'll tell you this. If that's it, let's change this channel to just troll fuck everything because we'll see how it's like the Jerky Boys, bro. You could just prank them and see if they can change their stuff. Why would you care? Dude, here's the thing. If your merchandise starts slipping, if your celebrations, all of a sudden you can't sell them out anymore. You know what I mean? If like the areas where your parks are completely empty and void, okay, you might have to look at this. But like the fact of the matter is they just sold $1 billion of toys and they had shit this year. What came out this year? This? What toy are you selling from this fucking line? What toy are you selling from fucking Nubs and Friends? You know what I mean? But they still did 1 billion. Think about that. They haven't had a movie in, when was the last movie that came out? Like 6 years ago?
Huh? 5 years ago.
5 years ago. They haven't had a single movie in 5 years. There are TV shows that pretty much have come out besides the Lego stuff, are cartoon visions that they hardly sell much out of. This thing, which is for adults, you're not going to sell shit. A very minor kiddie thing that your demographic is till 4 years old, and then you're done. Yet they still pushed enough product to sell 1 billion.
Right. I mean, they haven't had a hit, like a merchandise hit since Grogu, really.
Yeah. Which is now going on what? How many years is that? Isn't that like 3 or 4 years? It's like 4 years
at least. Yeah. But since Grogu, like they haven't had a merchandise hit. Like Andor was great, but what merchandise?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't sell shit from Andor.
Yeah.
Can't sell shit from this. I mean, it's very niche market, so like they can't sell anything from it.
Yeah.
Guess what? People complain about shit. Yeah, I get it. They do it all the time. That's what the internet's made for. Fucking losers who sit in their basement so they can complain about shit. I mean, I just told you guys a story about, 2 retards that were back there, and I went to say hi to somebody. They disappeared. Like, yo, dude, like that's how the internet works. People on the internet aren't real people. And most people who spend that much time being toxic, guess what? They also don't have money, because if you're working, you can't be toxic because you have to go to a crap ass job to make crap ass money. Okay. So like, yeah, you're not making a ton of money. So what? Who you tell me, Wayseeker, what toxic fan is there that's going to make a difference? This is the dumbest thing. Whoever said this should literally be fired from their job. They should become a toxic fan because they're a moron. This is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. How about this? How about instead of that, we just they let us sue fucking people who give bad reviews. Like if your review's not legit, you could get them for slander. Like in other countries where you can do that shit. All of a sudden, I guarantee you, Google stars, done a minute. You get rid of all toxicities, all these losers in their basement because you'll sue for their mom's house. They won't have shit to say anymore. And then they actually probably be productive and get out and get a job. Get a job. Believe me, it'll help you. Go get one. Do it. Do it. And don't just get a job so you get I have a job. No, get a job where you work and you actually make some money. And then if you're not making enough, get a second job and try to move up in your job, right? And then you just won't have time for it, dude. You just won't. You'll be happier too. Well, happier, you'll just be drugged up. Yeah, I mean, hey, yeah, we should, or you could have that. You could have that, man. Just get her. I mean, I'm happy, but here's the thing, BK. I'm happy with my blouses, bro. I don't give a shit. You see me? I'm there. Thank you, Artrell. I mean, I just don't get it, dude. I don't understand. I don't understand any of that. It's such nonsensical. And there really is. In real life, like anybody that I meet that's is this way, it's like, yeah, dude, but go do something productive. So, oh well. Yeah, this person should be fired.
Yeah, I agree.
Fired.
Yep.
Absolutely fired.
Waste of time. Waste of time. Horrible idea. Waste of money.
No, fired. Yeah. No. That fired. Okay, thank you. There's the door, buddy.
All right. So for Lego fans,
Star
Wars, there was a short that came out this week where Vader crashes Jabba's Halloween bash on the barge to celebrate the Lego release of the barge. So for those of you that like these things, kids, it's only 2.5 minutes or whatever.
You mean the 6th barge that they have?
Yeah, right.
The 6th one?
Yep. So, Vader is a great person to be at a Halloween party. We'll just put it that one. They really wanted him there. So that's something you can check out if you're looking for some content. We got some names for some new characters from the Skeleton Crew. We got these new merchandise figures that are coming out. I guess there's an owl called Kim.
This shit's gonna be a train wreck, isn't it? This is gonna be a fucking train. Look at this shit. It's gonna be a train wreck. This is gonna be amazing. This is gonna be so bad.
I'm so excited for it. It's gonna be so bad,
dude. It's gonna be so bad. Look at this shit. This is gonna be so bad. Why the fuck's there an owl with a cape on? What the fuck are we looking at here?
And there's
there's 2 of them.
There's chases, so whatever. There's owl. No, the owl.
I love how they got a Wolfman pirate. This is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, they got this droid SM-33, which is new. Yeah, they got this Jorka.
Oh, dude. Hey, come on. That looks like some 5th grader's picture of a droid. It's a transformer in Star Wars. It can fly as a plane and also roll. This is stupid.
So they got chases for whatever this thing is. I guess it's, I don't know.
Joe New Howard. Wait, what the fuck are these names? What's Pirate Captain? You're just naming the wolf Pirate Captain? That's the best you can do?
Pirate Captain.
Why don't you come up with like Wolf Guy or something? Like at least I'll take back the 80s names and stuff. Wolf, Space Wolf. Yeah, there we go.
We found out Jod's full name. It's not just Jod, it's John Nawood.
No, nobody cares. Like, what is that? This is gonna be, dude. This like, there's parts of like the Acolyte that was an accidental train wreck, but this is gonna be a beautiful train wreck, right? Like, I hope
it gets to that
point. I think it'll be decent, actually.
You think it's gonna be good?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I really think it's gonna be good.
I don't know about good, but I think.
Bro,
I think it'll fit its genre just fine.
What genre is it though?
Like a goofy, fun, like kind of teenage aimed kid show, or not kid show, but you know what I mean.
No, I don't. No, JJ, I'm not being a dick. I
don't think the target audience is 50-year-old dudes for this thing.
No, no. I agree with that. So I think it's gonna be like, hey man, I get that. Not for us, so it's gonna be an awesome train wreck. But what I'm saying is like, I don't understand who this is for.
I just told you, not you.
Yeah, I get it. It's not for a lot of people, though, JJ. That's what I'm saying.
I think it's definitely to appeal to younger audiences. It's a younger live action show for Star Wars.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll see.
But so anyway, so now we got some names. We got this owl.
We got Neil and
Owl's coming straight from Harry Potter. I'm pretty sure. So
Kim, and they name it Kim.
Wait, yeah, Kim.
Oh, I thought they said the printing small. I thought they said cheese for the droid, not Chase.
No, there's two Chases there. There's a Chase speeder bike and a Chase whatever that thing is, rocket ship or something. The ship.
Wait, hold on. Oh, that's not. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought the ship thing was the new robot. It's not SM-33.
SM-33 is the new robot. Yeah.
It is Jorkel and Neil twins.
So Neil and KB and Wim and Fern are the kids.
What's the difference between the two elephants?
I guess Jerkin would be a cousin or a friend. I don't know.
But you said Jerkin, Fern, and Neil are twins?
No, they're the kids. Neil, KB, Wim, and Fern are the four kids, I guess.
Oh, yeah, the Jerko looks younger. I see it.
So.
Maybe.
The less hair.
Wait, so who's the chick in number 1 spot?
That's the Jedi. He's not a chick. Oh. That's the Jedi that's played by what's his name? Yeah, Jude Law.
Looks like he's got soft hands.
The Funko Pop, how can you tell?
Is Fur just code word for Han Solo? Is it? He looks like Han Solo. Fern looks like Han Solo, dude.
I mean, Fern's like a kid, though. Yeah, so it might just be a kid wanting to be Han Solo.
Likes to be Han Solo. See, that could be cool, man, I guess. Get that fucking owl's creepy out. Is he going to go 1, 2, 3? Crunch. 3?
Yeah, the owl is named Kim. Yes. Yep, that's correct. It's got a, I don't even know what that is. Not right cape or something on it. I don't know.
It's a cape. It looks like a cape, right?
Isn't there? What's the species of the bird people?
Oh yeah, but they're a lot taller though, aren't they?
That's not what this is or whatever.
Well, how do you know it's not a child version?
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, maybe.
When's this coming out?
What? December, first week of December.
Seems like we've been talking about this forever, and now I'm kind of really intrigued. There's no way that thing's name can't be Pirate Captain, though, right? Like they're hiding what the name is.
They're probably hiding the name, probably.
Yeah, I think they're hiding the name. Okay.
Anyway, you could ask Dom where you can pick these things up. I just thought interesting about the names.
What were they?
I don't even know. I don't remember.
Okay, good shot.
I don't care. It's toys. Star Wars Outlaws finally broke 1 million units sold, and they got a new patch out this week. That's a sad number for a AAA game after a month, but like we said last week, I don't think it's personally going to make it back. I don't think there's a path forward for this game, but we'll see. Ubisoft's in big trouble, so they got to find out what they're going to do real quick. So that was that one.
We got like Wayseeker spent $100 on a piece of shit.
I actually liked the game. We'll get into the review actually on what we liked, but I didn't love it, but I liked it. We got some festive Christmas gifts released this week on Shop Disney.
This is where the $1 billion is right
Yeah,
here.
$1 billion
Fucking-
is. What do you think of
What
your Santa Java? You buying that one?
That Santa Java looks like it was made by like a person at
That's-
a flea market.
That looks
You could buy
bootleg.
it for
Yes,
$3.
that looks that looks like you go to Comic-Con and you go into the artist section, and there's always somebody selling like homemade goods.
the
That
fake
looks like homemade
plushies.
goods. Yeah,
You got an R2 ornament that
and
lights
that
up
looks
and-
like the same thing. That
and
looks like
gives
you go
sound.
to.
It gives you the R2
Actually,
sound and lights up.
Do you
They're
got
probably not
Christmas
the best-
festivals out
It's
there?
not the best picture, but actually the ornaments, assuming it's a Hallmark ornament, they're pretty awesome. But
I don't think it's a Hallmark
No,
ornament.
I don't think it
It's
is.
not
'Cause
Hallmark
It's,
ornament.
it's on Shop Disney. So
The Hallmark ones are really good.
yeah.
This one looks like if you've got like they have those outdoor Christmas things, markets they call them, and you
Yeah.
go there and like they burn some shit at the beginning to make it seem festive. That's looks like somebody took an R2D2 and glued like a fucking wreath to it. It's like, here you go. Here
Yeah.
you go.
These might be the best of what we got coming up. So we also got a droid advent calendar. So
Yeah,
are
check
you
out
droid?
Target on sale last week. I don't know, it might go back on sale again.
So these are what the pictures of the droids are.
Is that one a R2 droid or a soda can?
Soda can.
It's an R2 droid that looks like a soda can, but yes.
And it's isn't the outside of this a sandcrawler?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, if you're interested in this,
Hey, there's the thing from Andor.
yeah, you got the little, the Roy one. You got a BB-8 as a snowman. So you got the Cowcasters one. You got all of them there. If you're interested in droids as Christmas decorations, there's an advent calendar that is just for you.
Has there ever been a bigger failure of a droid than D1?
Dio, you mean?
Or
Dio.
Shep, fuck, don't even know his name.
B2 Emo, that one?
No,
From Andor?
The one from
the green one that's got the little circle.
It's Dio.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dio, I think's right. Yeah, I think you're right.
I think B2 Emo might be worse.
Which one's B2 Emo?
B2 Emo is from Andor. That's the one with the
Oh
the
no, I
picture-
like B2. Shut up. Shut your mouth.
one where the dogs are peeing on it.
Shut your mouth, Wayseeker. It's an old droid. Takes care of an old lady who's dying. Maybe even euthanizes her, dude. How do you know? Leave him be.
I'll go back to the reviews. You made fun of that droid left and right. You hated the name. All right, we got a sweater.
Oh, the name's stupid, yeah.
I just put the what the image of the sweater is. You can pick this one up. A new
That
Star
one's not
Wars
bad.
Christmas
That's
sweater.
cool. Yeah. All right.
So with all the little toys, I actually really like that one. And then you can also get ornament figures based off of that sweater. So if you want to decorate your
Whose
tree,
fucking kids are they letting do this shit? This shit looks like 8th, 7th grade after art projects.
I think the people that got fired from Hasbro have got the job now over here. So
This is fucking terrible.
it is. It is. And one more. You can pick out this new droid with a Star Wars
That's not
logo.
bad.
So this one wasn't too bad. So
Yeah.
that
And
was
the
your
paint job looks like it's probably got lead in it.
It looks terrible. Huh?
Yeah, it's got lead in it. Probably it's gonna fucking make you glow. But why don't you just use uranium glass for that? Probably. I don't know.
so those are the new Christmas toys for the holidays.
Holy shit. Well, I mean that's good. Save your money, kids. R2D2.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
So that's what you got there. And then I had something because I thought Dom was going to be here, but Dom isn't. But we'll go over it today. Maybe
Probably
we'll
not gonna be
back
at New York Comic Con either.
But NYCC's in 10 days or whatever.
Huh?
So I've been holding off on the Star Wars panel schedule, seeing what Dom would actually attend. We know how much Dom likes to attend the panels because all he wants to do is stay in line all day waiting
He
for
doesn't attend
signature and
no,
spend
he
money.
doesn't attend panels.
What?
He doesn't attend panels. He stands
does,
in
but
line
he's
for
just- he
signatures.
Being
He hates
sarcastic.
being around all those people. I'm like, what's a line? What's a con? You're around people all the time. What does it matter that you don't
Yeah.
like being around people in a room? But
Yeah.
he doesn't. So anyway,
He said that?
Thursday,
No way.
What?
He didn't say that, did he?
he did. Yeah, he hates it because he has to wait in line to get into a panel.
What the fuck? Okay.
It's Dom. What do you say? So there,
Pickle party.
This is perfect for Dom. This is the one I recommend that he goes to on Thursday at 3:30. The Way of the Jedi. It's a panel about how to be more mindful, lessons in mindfulness.
Horrible.
So Dom could really use a little bit of that. On Friday, we get
That's why I go to Comic Cons is for lessons in mindfulness
I
around a bunch of people that smell bad. And
On Friday, you got the book Lucasfilm Publishing is doing all their future books, giving us previews about what's to come at 3:30, and then at 5:15 there is a Hasbro toy panel, which I'm sure will
that'll surely be great
for Star Wars. And then the Saturday is the big one. So this is the one that we are all going to be watching really closely. This is the future of Star Wars comics. Will be done jointly with Dark Horse and Lucasfilm Publishing. This is when we finally will find out what the new main lines.
If they're going to pull Dark Horse's
in February, is going to be.
They're going to pull Dark Horse's licensing.
No, they're not. I think they're getting things back together finally. We got 3.
They're actually releasing things that they delayed.
That they delayed for 6 months. Hey, crack kills, so probably lay off of it a little bit because no.
So anyway, this is the big one on Saturday. This is the one I really want Dom to go to.
Winning the last football game of the season and be like, hey, we had a great season, guys.
Let's just figure somebody else. Let's figure somebody else out to send there for that because I have a feeling Dom's not going to go.
Yeah, I think you're right. But all the mainline comics, the reboot, we're finally going to figure out what it is. So I've been waiting for this thing for like months. So yeah, that is the.
I hope there's not too many reboots. I hope it's mainly minis, like we said, maybe one or two. There's going to be one or two, but
there's going to be at least 3 mains.
How many more High Republic Adventures one shots can I get?
Well, get them all out of your system.
Yep, we'll be done for a while, I think.
All right. Speaking of comics, here we go. Did you guys read this?
I read it.
I did.
It was good, right? I thought it was good.
Yeah, I thought.
One of the stories was better than the other, but yeah.
What's that?
Yeah.
Oh, did you like the second part? Do you like that character? The guy that's which part did you like? The first part, the second part? What part?
I like the first part better than the second part. The first story. I like the second story character, but I didn't care about the story itself. This character was from Uprising. He was a main character, went main bad in Star Wars Uprising, the mobile game.
Yeah.
So
the guy in the back, the guy who's
7 other people on Earth played.
Yeah, that's it.
Did you also see that Leia has the helmet melted? So that's where it gets stolen from. Also, very interesting. They brought up that group.
Why did she keep that?
Huh?
Why would you keep that though? I don't.
Well, she doesn't eventually keep it because it goes somebody. The acolytes of the Beyond steal it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, I just don't understand why she has it. Like, what a horrible reminder. Hey, remember that time?
So you almost.
My brother had to kill my father, more or less. I should say my father died saving my brother, I guess. But
well, I don't know. I mean, I thought the book was pretty good. I will tell you this: there's plenty of first appearances in this book. There's going to be plenty in the next book. There's going to be plenty in third. There's a new Inquisitor coming out, I think, in 3 or 4. They're just going to. There's a ton of characters coming out through this mini set. The writing's pretty good. The artwork is trash in the first thing. Like they don't draw faces again. Like
Luke is horrible.
Oh, they do some. It's some terrible.
Why do they have 2 different artists for the story? I don't.
They did, huh?
Why do they have different artists for the stories?
Mm-hmm.
I never understood that. Like,
well, that was the thing. The second one was better because at least it drew faces. There's one where they like literally just draw. Dude, did you see like the first half? They didn't even draw the bad guy's face. It was all shadows. They didn't draw anybody's face. They just used shadows and covered up their entire faces with shadows.
So like reading a Funko Pop comic.
Yeah, it was fucking horrible, dude. But it was. I mean, the story was good at least.
Yeah, I'm interested in that acolyte person who's like thousands of years old.
Oh yeah. The one that said we were there.
I've seen the Jedi fall, the Sith come and fall. So that person is ancient.
But also too, they show who's like. Do you think the other lady's kind of running because like in the books there wasn't some old grandma running the acolytes from Beyond? Do you think that this is like the matriarch? They did reference, I think, a matriarch in the book or something to that effect. Do you think that's who the matriarch is?
Yeah, I think it is the matriarch. Yeah.
All right, that's cool. I mean, I like it, dude. I don't know if it's for everybody, but I definitely like it. It's new telling of Star Wars stuff.
Every weird cult has a weird cult leader, right?
Yeah, it definitely is a Snook, which is good. Yeah, I thought it was really good. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Yeah, it's a terrible cover. And then they had Inquisitors. We finished Inquisitors up at 4.
Tetsu Run.
Tetsu Run. Hey, I'll tell you this though. I read Inquisitors after because I was excited to read the first book, and this saved my eyes because the art was so bad in the first book. Like this thing was like, oh wow. Well, some of the lines are corny in here, and that's okay. At least the art's exceptional. And the writing wasn't that bad. But yeah, I don't know if that. I don't know. Did you guys read this?
No.
Actually, I haven't read this video.
Yeah,
My
it's
question
just
to you though is, and
Yeah.
you can say it with or without spoilers. I'll leave it up to you. Do you feel that this ending or whatever they put in this book, because I haven't read it yet, justifies the series?
No, that's what I was kind of gonna say. I was gonna say like maybe I don't know.
Because that's kind
Maybe-
of that was my fear when this book was coming out. Like, I feel like they're not going to end this thing very well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, oh, are they gonna come back to some stuff or like I don't know. Maybe if it would have gone 6 or 8, it would have been better. I don't know. I mean, overall, it's still a good series. You got to read this because you read all the other ones, but
If Tensu doesn't die, I'd be disappointed.
riot in the streets. All right, coming up next week, yay, Ewoks.
I'm not reading this
50.
one.
We got 50 Ewok covered. No, here's the good thing, though. Maybe they're learning.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a shot too. Maybe they're learning because it's not a 1 in 100. The Virgin's a 1 in 50. So at least we're not doing that anymore. I like
got
your Wicked cover
I like
too.
that action figure cover too with the coin.
Yeah, I do too. I like the Wicked cover. That's the one I'm buying. All right. Yeah, I'll give this. Why do you hate this and you like Nubs? That doesn't make any sense.
Because these ones are mean. They eat
Eat people.
Nubs is like all happy.
You don't know if Nubs doesn't eat people?
Yeah,
Nubs
you don't
doesn't
know what
eat
Nub
people.
eats.
Nubs
Maybe
is
he's like
no love.
Chewy. Maybe he's like Chewy and he eats those poor porgs that
Yeah, eat
just want to be
porgs.
friends.
I don't know.
They only want to be friends because he's about to eat them. If they weren't going to eat him, they weren't going to be friends.
There's been so many Ewok stories in the grand lore of Star Wars, and not one of them has been memorable.
Is this the one where the bounty hunters are supposed to like be involved in the thing or something?
Yeah, I think so.
So we
What's
had
with
like
this?
20 issues back in the Dark Horse day of Ewoks or something like that.
Some of them were fun. All right. Well, this is Wayseeker proclaiming that Dark Horse has got their shit together.
I forgot that their shit is so together. I forgot that Saber for Hire was still.
Yeah, I forgot that too. So this is 4 of 4. So
yeah.
We're finishing Saber for
thank
Hire.
God that fucking thing's done.
That's not been good. That has not been good.
No.
Kevin has not done a good job with that one.
But Echoes of Fear, this is,
I like this series.
Yeah. I like the series. Is he going for the Echo Stones?
That's what we're getting the story of.
Yeah, which is nice if you read that last book that we're going to get some
Crossover.
linking up to. Yeah.
And it's by man, so he's done the story. It's a nice crossover there. And I think the art for that book was really good for the first issue.
That's fine. Yeah, I'll take that book. They can get rid of T.Y. York. She sucks. Speaking of who? Speaking of books, but this is dispatches from the occlusion zone. I can't see it because the thing covers over, but I remember what it's called. All right. This is going to be like, I think this is going to be like an anthology, right?
It's 4 parts, but different writers every time.
I read the first 6 pages or 5 pages or whatever, and it looks okay. It's almost DC wordy in it though. Like whoever the first person was, like
older dude. Yeah.
Holy heck, bro. That 3rd page, like you get your paragraphs out, get your little walkers because you're gonna be reading a lot.
So here's what I don't get. One of 2 things has got to be happening with this series, right?
Please.
It's got to be either something that ties everything together, because it seems like from the solicit and the images and everything, the stories are stories about characters that we're already reading about currently.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a Ty York, there's a who's the guy in Echoes of Fear? I can't remember his name now, but those are all going on currently. Like, is this going to tie everything together, or is this more stories about the same characters that are already in the?
I think some of them are going to be more stories about the characters, but like some of we haven't heard about. Like Emmerich, we haven't heard about. Like we've the name's been mentioned, but like we haven't got a story about that. So it's just I think going to help us better flesh out what is behind the occlusion.
Part of the problem with it too, if I may, is that it's been so long, and like when you have, and I know they have it because I've read it. I read it at Dark Horse before. They have the preview pages, but like you know, when Marvel does a preview page for a book to let you know what it's about, it's everywhere. I mean, like everywhere. This stuff, it just feels like you have to track stuff down with Dark Horse, and I'm not sure people really like that. I mean,
yeah, and like kind of along the lines of like the characters go like, I feel like because Saber for Hire has taken so much longer than it should.
Mhm.
Like, let's say I finish that, and then I'm going to jump right into this. Like, I think I've already had my fill of Ty York, like for 4 issues of Saber.
well,
I don't know if I want more Ty York story.
yeah, this is what I can explain
at least.
So the first one, like the first couple of pages, introduce you to new characters that are doing something, and you get what's his name. Yeah, you don't see Ty York in the first like.
I don't think Ty's in the first one. I think Ty's in the fourth.
Yeah,
one.
well, I mean, I get that. I know it's an anthology. She may not be the person, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, there's a little bit of character burnout maybe going on, just because, and not necessarily the fault of this book, but because they've delayed other books and they're starting to kind of ram up against one another.
Well, speaking of Ram, we're gonna get some Ram Ram in there, so that's good stuff. I guess. Ramaran.
I'm excited.
It does seem all over the place. I agree. It seems all over the place. I don't know how excited I am about it. FOC, we've got terrible fucking Ahsoka books. Holy shit! Like, if you're gonna come out with a shit book, like make it look. Wait, is that first sperm whale on a fucking cover?
Those are pickles up there.
Pickles up there.
Yep.
Oh yeah, what's with that pose on the 1 in 25? That's just weird.
I don't know. It's bad.
It's fucking.
She's getting ready to break into like a dance battle,
dude. So what? Look at the one where it looks like fucking Anakin's about to fucking kiss little Ahsoka on the side cheek there or something, dude.
Dom's gonna buy 10 copies of the middle one. You know it.
The middle one's right. I mean, I think by almost process of elimination, the middle one's the only one I really kind of like.
Yeah, it's actually the only decent one.
First cover of World Between Worlds, according to Dom. So that's all he's gonna care about. Buy 10 of them.
Pickle parties. This actually is pretty dope. It's the 1 in 10. I mean, at least it's something.
I don't really love it, but
that's all right. That's because you got no taste. Also on FOC. This is number 4. This is 404 for the Insurgents.
Yeah.
Wait, I put the wrong book in there. I put Republic Under Siege, which is not part of this book. There's only 2 in here.
No, but
it's the right 2.
The other 2 are right.
Mm-hmm. We're getting a Gungan cover on.
No, I don't know. I was like, why is there a Gungan cover on this? I thought that was just like what they were doing for like the 25th anniversary bullshit. Yeah. So we're gonna get that character. Isn't that what's her name? I wanted to ask you this. What's that one chick's name? The one that's there. Isn't that's like Ray something or whatever? I thought we know who. Huh?
The one on the right?
Yeah.
You think that's Ray Sloan?
No.
No, that's
no.
That's Bliss, isn't it?
Bliss. That's it. Yeah. Is that Bliss?
I think so.
I don't know if it is or not.
Same.
But just so you know, in this
outfit or whatever.
In this book, they do mention that they are going to reveal who the Inquisitor who's hunting down Luke is. Which, once again, if you're an Inquisitor hunting down Luke, then you probably have to die. But whatever.
What's your money on? Mine's on Morik.
Yeah, maybe.
I hope
maybe die sometime apparently. And
yes,
come back as a witch
at some point.
yeah, right. Well, that'd be cool. So maybe Dom will buy 10 of these. Wait, who did he say that war was going to be?
I don't know.
Wasn't it supposed to be like a Night Sister, or wasn't it supposed to be Aja Ventress or something like that?
It's Dom. Dom can't keep track of Dom's theories.
I also FOC.
He hits on one and he thinks he's like won the lottery.
So here's the thing you got with the bounty hunters.
I thought there was a lion at first.
Forlom and Zuckus? Wait, what?
For some reason, I thought the Ewok in the middle of the cover was a lion at first. I was like, that Forlom and Zuckus fighting a lion?
No, it's Wicket, but okay. And then you got Meadrow. Everybody loves that Ewok. That's the Ewok everybody wants. The one with the glass eye.
I hope I'm wrong about this series.
I think
This is gonna be good. It's gonna be fun. Why don't you like fun? Like, I know you're not a guy who really likes just
actually, I like the is that the A cover on the left?
Yeah. No, the A cover's in the middle, I think.
Oh, I like the one on the left.
I like the Forlom Zuckus cover, so I'm gonna get it. And that's all we got for FOCs. Now, if you guys know anything, last week we gave Wayseeker a very hard time about how crappy he is at putting together lists. And you guys gave us a couple books that you told us you wanted to look at. So we took some of those books, we came together with a new list, and we decided, because Wayseeker's being a jerk is not going to put on the full look into it list, at least we'll give you a screenshot of what some of these hot books were, and you can now decide if the books you submitted were hot or if they're not. We're going to start off with this banger. Now, here, there's something that's messed up here, too, and I've noticed this. This is a 9/8 they're selling out of a certain aggregator, but they don't get the whole story from Heritage because they don't use the selling percentage. What? So they use the whole percentage without the premium. But with that being said, this book, which at one time for some reason somebody paid $2,000 supposedly for, what are you fucking thinking? But the other two books, the sub 500 was I think $336 and $400, so it's about a $400 book. The last one was a Heritage auction, and the numbers never come through right with the Heritage auction.
It looks like $192 book.
Yeah, it says 192 there. Yeah,
that would be a good. I'd pay.
That'd be a good buy.
For 9/8.
That'd be a good buy. So. Yep. Okay, that's number 5 for Thrawn. You should have had that on the list because it's just.
I had it on the list until somebody told me to take it off the list.
Damn it, Wayseeker! No, see, everybody knows it's your fault, Wayseeker.
Even JJ backs me up.
Damn it, Wayseeker! No, I looked at those. No, I looked back there. I never said take it off. You said I'm taking it off. I said whatever. And then here the Ross this was talked about too. What is this? A 1-200 one or 300?
300.
I thought it was 200.
I thought the 1 in 100 and 1 in 300. So.
Usually goes 1, 2, 3. That's how numbers work.
What? Yeah, it's not always how numbers work.
But this was a book that had highs of the $1,000 range. I let you see that way back in 22 pandemic time. Has slowly been trickling back down to a reasonable rate. About $300.
What is tracking this thing? There's been no 9/8 sales of this. Only 2 for the whole year.
Yeah, for this whole year.
It's July of 2020.
Yeah. Once again, the other one. Hey, hold on. The 244. The 244 once again is from an auction house, and they don't add in all the fees and all the stuff that it actually comes.
Even then, I feel like there, for as many of these that there are, you feel like there would have been more sold.
Yeah, you'd figure, but he has this book. That's why he likes it. That's why he submitted it. But here's the thing with this book. There's a ton of them, but at the same time, somebody paid $2,000 for this book, or $1,100. You know what I mean? So people are gonna be like, "Yo, dude, I'm not selling this book for $200, even if they didn't pay anything for it." I mean, that's just how it works. All right, this one is surprising. Well, last sale for a long time has been this year. It's a couple months ago. It's in the last 3 months. It was a 9/8, went for $225. It's one of the only other TIE Fighter books that actually sell. It's hard to find. Sells rarely in a 9/8. So it has more 9/6s than it does 9/8s. But when you can find a 9/8. It sells for a decent amount. So if you guys are out there looking for books, and some of these have fallen off, like the one that I thought was surprising is this cover. I should have put it in here. There's an auction going on right now for I think like $8 for the one that looks like Mur, the guy the we just talked about him, the Inquisitor from the Thrawn, the Ahsoka. Yeah, the ghost one.
Mordok or whatever.
Mordok, yeah. It looks just like that. There's a cover that. There's an eBay auction right now. I think it's only at like $9, if that, for it. So might be time to start buying some of these TIE fighters, especially like that one and the other one. This book, on the other hand, good luck in the 9/8.
The Vader,
this is TIE fighter number 3.
It's a 1 in 200. You were right.
It's 1 in 200. Yeah. Thank you. Knew I was right.
Hey, did we clip that? Can we go back and play it? You were right.
No, fucking Wayseeker. Another angel got their wings. And finally, also, he gave us Jedi Fallen Order, but he didn't give us this book that people really love. I don't know why they like this book. I think it's just because I don't know
the rarity
the rarity of it. This was also was this a 1 in 10?
This 1 in 10.
1 in 10. Yeah.
I think people thought this character was cool in the video game, but after that, I don't know.
I think also too it's the first. I think people are like, man, that Sierra Junda character is really going to go somewhere. And
never did.
Second game pretty fast.
But the price of this book's actually going up instead of down. So, who would have thunk it? But none of them sell. I mean, it's hard to find the book.
I mean, there's no sales this whole year. So
yeah, but it's tough to find it. Yeah, but go find a 9/8 for it. I mean, it's tough. And then I decided too, because he was doing second printings and everything else, or he wasn't. Somebody mentioned second printings. And he said he refused to do anything that anybody loved. So I gave this Darth Maul second printing instead of the Aja cover or whatever he did that people didn't like and voted in the 9 spot. Besides that 101, which I think that was just mislabeled. The book is about a $200 book, $240 book, still selling for that, which is ugh.
It's too much money for this. You can
Yeah,
buy
it's the same.
First print for like $80.
Yeah. First print's way cheaper than this, about half the price, a little bit more. But the second print, different coloring, so make sure you guys are checking it out. Check for that.
Actually, this one was the same, wasn't it?
It's the same as the first.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even different coloring.
There's something different on it.
It's just the stars.
It just that
Yeah,
second
stars.
print.
That's right. Stars. Yeah. Stars.
Oh, it's stars.
Yeah. All right. Next up, Wayseeker said this, and I agree with this book. This is Galaxy.
Yeah,
another one of the minis that we have. The Lee variant. Number 4. Also not terribly dude, what the fuck were people paying in 2020? Dude, look at that. I wanted to show that. This book at one point in a 9.8. At least 2 people paid $1,000 plus for this book, dude. $1,000 plus. And not even a year later, it was back down to the $300-$400 range, pretty much, where it stood for a very long time, slowly trickled down to this year where it's about $250. I mean, that was earlier this year. I know too, and that was on auction. But that kind of looks where the sticking price is, $260, $250 for this book. Let's see what the rest of them get when they come out, because people are going to have to start auctioning these soon. Once again, that'd be a perfect book to follow to see what's happening with it. But Wayseeker decided he's too good for that, so he chose not to. Then we already did one Frizz. Did we do a Frizzin already?
We did the Bartel.
It's a Bartel.
We did the Bartel. There's another Bartel we should have put in, wasn't there?
No.
Or is there 2 Frizzins? I can't remember. People went Goo for nothing.
Bartel's only done 1 or 2 Star Wars covers.
Yeah, I think she did 2. All right, here we go. Frizzin. People were crazy, and then they started slabbing these books, and they were selling pretty much for less slab than they were that people were buying for this book. So here we go, Dr. Afra, number 7, the Frizzin variant. What did 125, right?
Yep.
About 160 average here. I mean, we've had some recent sales. A couple months ago, one sold for 200, and last month, one sold for 141 at auction. Don't auction your books, kids. But it has had an up and down roller coaster. 141 still higher than the majority of the prices, excluding the one outlier of $200. So
this book suffered because it came second. It never really took off.
It's also not as good. The Bartel looks way better to me.
But everybody was like, "Oh, 6 the 6 Bartel snuck up on everybody." And then this was still on FOC when the 6 came out, and everybody's like, "Oh, Frizzin got the next one." So everybody ordered it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey,
snuck up on no one.
It didn't, but it's also
but it's not doing bad.
That's what I'm saying. For something that snuck up on this is a 1 in 25, still selling for 150.
Yeah,
later, I mean, it's actually up. This book's actually up overall this year than it was last year. I mean, not a lot, but even if it's 50, if you average it out between $250 sales, I mean, you're looking at a book being up at least $50. I mean,
I could be wrong too, but I think wasn't there a deal when these came out? They fussed some of them and had to.
Yeah, there was
them or something.
Marvel rub on the fucking thing, damaged, and people kept them anyways though. So make sure you're watching that shit. All right, and here's the one we should have put in there. If we're gonna put in one, we should have a comparison of 2 books that are the same. This actually is the 1 in 200, 300. This is the 1 in 300. Yeah, 1 in 300. The Joey Q black and white 1 in 300 that for some reason doesn't do as well as the colored version. Whatever. Still selling for a decent nickel. $405 earlier this year, $500 early on in the year. Won't touch the $800 mark that it had before, but I mean, isn't this a weird one? 2022, $500. I think that's a cross off for $1,000, but that's around $800 almost a year later. That's when it got post pandemic. It was about $800, and then it came back down to the 6 range. Now it's sitting pretty in the 4s. It's probably going to hit a floor about. But it's still $100 above ratio. I mean,
but graded. So,
yeah. So you spent $22 on it to grade it, but
I get that. I'm just saying, it's not that great for 3 1.
Well, it's better than being upside down, Wayseeker.
Okay.
Wayseeker thinks $50. Look at how this guy is. A while ago, he was making $3 off trade paperbacks, telling us this is the best thing in the world. Now he's throwing $50 away because it's not good enough for him. Oh, okay. A big baller now, huh, bro? And then this book, I didn't get many of the graded ones because it just wasn't there. But the raws for the 1 in 100 for Visions #1, the Virgin, 175, the last one. There was an auction that went up for $87.78. Now listen to me on that one though. Although it had 12 bids, it was a very fine copy. So, I mean, you're gonna just pull less. But 102, 125 is where it kind of started off. So this one's sitting there for raws. I guess that's why Wayseeker must have looked at the slides and say, well, that one's selling raw without grading it for 175, which is actually means this is probably out of that whole run about a year ago, those 1 in 100s. This is the only one
This is the only one. That's why I was
doing well.
tracking it. Yeah, you cut this one from my list. I had it on my list, but
no, I didn't cut this from you. Stop saying I cut shit from your list. I don't even read your lists.
You did too.
Never.
Yeah, that was the only one.
This is the one book that Wayseeker wanted on the list, apparently. Is Han Solo #1, the Luke Ross variant. There's only one sale, and it was like 3 years ago for $150. So I don't know why this is on the list. It's a garbage book.
It used to sell. Raws used to sell for $200 though. That was back in the day. Now Raws are like 50, maybe 60. So I find that fascinating.
Well, you're not fascinating enough that you put it on a list so that we could track it. So I mean,
everything. I'm keeping track of 30 books.
Do we know? Are we going to have that?
Keep track of 100?
Are we going to have that 30 books? Are we going to have the 30 books ready next week?
I can get it ready next week. Yeah.
If you can't, we can do it a different week because I can have more fun digging more books that you should have put on your list than not. All right, but if not, we're going to go into those other books. By the way, keep these books in mind. Write them down if you have to, because when Wayseeker has a book that we start booing him about, maybe we'll be able to sub one of these books out. Because I think he did an okay job with his list, but he should listen to the people. Thank you for those people who participated in this event. We appreciate it. Except for Wayseeker.
You got to be a man of the people.
I know. I'm not a man of the people.
Going to this list.
Why was this one ever popular? This was before me.
I don't know. I actually bought this cover and I still kind of hate it.
You know what? Also, they've got the movie poster picture of this one too that also did pretty well for a long time for Han Solo #1.
It reminds me of like the 70s exploitation, like horror movies or something, where a trucker would like follow the couple in the convertible or something. It just looks weird.
He looks
out of place.
Burt Reynolds,
I guess put it that way.
Burt Reynolds with the little keyboard.
Yeah. Little Smokey and the Bandit Star Wars.
Smokey and the Bandit right here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I never did understand this one. That was what always fascinates me. Is some of the other ones, at least I can understand why people want this cover. This one was overpriced for something I did not think was a good cover. I know it's Luke Ross, but Luke Ross.
You know what? Yeah, I don't know why this one went either. Actually, and to be honest with you, I don't know why. I think it was around that era where people too, because at the same time this was going, people were buying the movie cover, like piping up that one, which is just like, yeah.
This is also a time period where Luke Ross got a ton of incentive work from like incentive covers. Star Wars. Like I always think like they thought he was Alex Ross and they sent the check to the wrong person and he just kept cashing the check, doing the covers in his place or something.
Hey, I mentioned it already. I played in the Showdown for those people that still play cards in Star Wars. We'll talk about that later. But before we do, let's get into the boys want to talk about Outlaws. Go ahead, guys. Take it over.
Oh, Outlaws. First off, Wayseeker, how much time did you put in? Did you look at your counter?
I was 48 hours.
48 hours. I was about 60. It was like 60 hours and 30 minutes or something. And that was doing a ton of side missions and everything else. But
I was doing lots of side missions. And I'm like, you know what? If we're gonna review this thing, I'm just gonna do the main mission. There's a lot of side missions.
We didn't do why I stopped doing some of the side missions in the review, but
yeah.
We kind of went over story characters and stuff a little bit a few weeks ago. We'll kind of recap it. Obviously, you have Kay and Nix are your main characters. Nix is the best character of the game, hands down. He doesn't even talk, but he's still the best character.
The food part is like my favorite part of the game. Like I could just have a game.
I hate you now.
Why?
Because it's the most useless part of the game.
It's totally useless, but it's so cute. Like watching Nix eat. Like I could do that over
God
all the time.
So you have your side characters. Bram is one of the first ones you got to meet. He's like the father character that helps Kay out. You have contractors. I didn't list all of them. There's like a bajillion throughout the game. There's like 5 on every planet or something. They're basically the people that give you contract work to work for the syndicates. And there are 4 syndicates. The Ashiga clan, which aren't they like insect type people?
Yeah, like bugs.
Under the mask. I don't think you ever get to see another mask in this game, but they all kind of wear those same masks. Crimson Dawn, and yes, Kira is the leader, and yes, you do interact with Kira. Same with Jabba the Hutt, leader of the Hutts. You can interact with him. And then Gorak is your Pike Syndicate leader for the game.
He was the worst.
Yeah, each
of them. The Pikes were the least interesting.
Yeah,
working.
Yeah, I ended up having a pretty good relationship with all the syndicates as the gameplay went through. But to me, so there's the strangest thing about gameplay, and this is not unusual for open world games of this type, but you get to basically go through the planets. There's 4 planets or 4 worlds, and like you progress through each one, and that to me kind of affected the story more than anything is which syndicates you work with. Because you start off on the first planet, right? You kind of have almost all of them there. You have the Hutts, you have the Pikes, and you have Crimson Dawn. You don't really have any Ashiga on the first planet with, I think, Toshara that you start off on. What do you remember? What order planets you went in?
I went to Shiga, Akiva, and then Tatooine, and then the last planet, whatever that one was.
So I went in the order they suggested, which I kind of ended up disliking because I think it kind of made the game a little bit longer or harder than it needed to be. But your villains are Sliro and Vale. You meet Sliro early on. He's the main villain. He's the one that basically puts the price on your head. Vale is kind of the bounty hunter that Sliro originally hires to capture Kay. And you run into your strange benefactor, Jalen Vrax, and his droid counterpart, who kind of becomes your droid counterpart or babysitter, in ND5, whose job is to basically ensure that Kay follows Jalen's orders to pull off his heist and save her life or get the price off her head or whatever.
I liked ND5 a lot.
I did like ND5's character, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was
had a good sense of humor. We'll talk later, I'm guessing, about what Jalen's,
Yeah. But we'll go over all the characters and everything. But you have your experts. There's basically 9 of them. These are the things you basically learn skills. It's kind of your RPG progression type of the game. There's different ones on each planet that you visit. And of course, there's cameos as you go. Yes, if Dom was here, yes, there was a Boba Fett, very quick Boba Fett cameo and a very quick Darth Vader cameo.
Is that Hondo in the bottom?
Yep, Lando is one of your experts.
No, Hondo on the other side.
No, that's not Hondo. That's
Hondo's race.
It should have been the sheriff from Tatooine that we all liked. That was
yeah. So it's a Tatooine sheriff, but her name is Quint, and she's actually a member of ex-member, I should say, of Hondo's gang, who became a sheriff on Tatooine. And you have Tammon Wexley. Everybody remember that name?
Oh yeah, good old Tammon.
Good old Snap.
Snap Wexley.
Poe's best buddy in the Resistance.
He still plays with droids all the time, so we don't get Mr. Bones, but he's the creator of Mr. Bones, if you remember.
Mr. Bones. Mr. Bones is showing up someplace. I can't remember where.
It's showing up in the Star Wars game.
And everybody else is pretty much new for your experts, so they kind of mix them in together. I don't know if the Jawa character is new or has been referenced before. He has a name. I don't remember what it is.
I haven't found the middle one yet. So
really, the droid?
Yep. Never found
Actually, that's one of the better storylines through the game. But
yeah, I rushed through, like I said, to get done.
Yeah, to finish it.
Yep.
But okay. So story progression. Well, first off, we'll start off. What did you think of the original characters? Not like cameo characters that we know, but original characters.
Like Kay and them?
Yeah, well, Kay, but also like the a lot of the side characters like Indy 5, Jalen, Sliro Sliro as a villain to me was just a not great villain.
No,
I did not like that character at all. And I thought a lot of the characters
was also dumb.
Yeah, everything was a little bit straightforward as far as the characters go. They pretty much played the exact role you expected them to play.
But I liked the Ash or whatever the bombs person was. She was fun.
Yeah, Aang.
Aang,
yeah.
She was a lot of fun. I liked her a lot. I liked Indy 5. I could do without the Rebel,
yeah, sure. Well, that was a weird add on the Sure character, like you, who kind of represents the Rebels. You didn't really like know that well. Like you didn't. So the story progression to get into the story progresses as each planet you go to. There's basically a character you have to add to your crew, more or less, to pull off this heist. Basically, so this would kind of build the people as a video game. Like if Red Dead Redemption met Star Wars, that's kind of what this game would be. In reality, the story, at least, is more along the lines of if Star Wars was a Fast and Furious movie. Because it literally is like you got to assemble this crew who's like a family, who then you go on this heist to get your price off your head or whatever. I mean, it's literally like a Fast and Furious storyline. Like, is what it reminded me most of. But the interesting part to me was,
good night, buddy.
Like they have a character that you go to a planet, and I think it was Tatooine, and you end up there, and the one character you're supposed to add dies.
He dies. Yeah, right.
He literally dies. He gets killed by Jabba the Hutt, and so you're just like, oh, at the end of the mission, or whatever, we'll add this other character who you had very minimal interaction with. I'm like, so this guy's on my crew now, and I hardly even know who he is. Like,
there's a pretty dumb twist.
Story decisions as far as
this sounds like you wasted a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean,
it wasn't bad. It just wasn't great.
Yeah, like, the story was really, at least the main story was really kind of meh.
The whole
it was very average.
The whole mom thing was overdone.
Yeah, I didn't throw that in there. Yeah, your mom, and that's another thing. The predictability of the story comes up a lot. I get to that kind of in the third act thing, but
the Indy 5 story was good. So there was good stories, like the Indy 5 story, the redemption. I like that. Like I said, I liked a couple other characters.
It seemed to me the story progression, like the way it progresses through the main story, was really scattergun. Like it was, like you said, like the Indy 5 part was good, but then the part where you're going on Tatooine seemed really disjointed. And then you go to Akiva, which seemed like a good thing, but then that character really doesn't do that much toward the end of it. And there ends up being so much time, because at least if you do side missions and stuff in between, like I forgot Aang was a member of my crew because I picked her up first.
Yeah.
But the characters really don't do anything once they join your crew until the very last mission. So literally there was like maybe 30 hours of me playing the game with this member on my crew that I like hardly interacted with, other than you say hi when you come in the ship.
Yep.
It would have been nice if they kind of worked the characters into the story as it went on a little bit more.
Agreed.
That seems ridiculous.
Agreed.
And same can be said for the choices. I don't know about you, but it felt like a lot of the choices, because I even sometimes doubled back to like a save and made a different choice, but they end up the same.
Right. Yep. There's no point.
Yeah. All your choices, well, at least almost all your choices, have no impact on the end of the story. Like,
how much did you spend on this game, Wayseeker?
120, 119, whatever it was, 110, something like that. Me and Pete both got it. It doesn't mean the game was bad. It just means like
it.
So, I mean, like an example of the choices thing. I'm just going to spoil the story, but when you're with the Ashiga clan on Kijimi, is the planet you're on, you kind of have to choose an allyship between either the queen or the princess of the Ashiga clan. And, one of those characters dies, depending on which one you choose, right? But in the end, it doesn't matter. The same thing happens, which is basically Crimson Dawn under Kira's reign kind of takes over the planet covertly, and whether the mother lives or the daughter lives, the result is the same.
Right.
Wait, what?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, why even bother to make it a choice? Why not just make it a linear story? Yeah. So it feels like they put choices in there that they made them want to seem meaningful. But at the same time had almost no impact on the actual story.
That sounds terrible.
So it kind of takes the fun out of that. And there also was a third act twist that was incredibly telegraphed, in my opinion.
You mean the very end?
Actually, there's kind of two. One is less telegraphed than the other. there's about the villain Slero. There's 2 third-act twists.
Right.
I thought it was interesting when he was an ISV agent and like Zarek Besh becomes this. Zarek Besh, who is the original syndicate that puts the price out on Kay's head, is actually a Imperial ISB front.
I thought that was kind of fun. It
Yeah,
wasn't.
I thought that was a good twist.
Yep, me too.
But then an hour of gameplay later, they completely undo it by having the incredibly predictable part where Jalen, your special benefactor that this whole game or whatever, who's basically been giving you supplies and really encouraging you and giving you pep talks and everything, it turns out to be Slero's brother who wants revenge on him for becoming part of the Empire.
And cutting him off. Yeah.
Yeah, cutting him off because he's kind of the I guess he's a half brother.
He's the
really explain it very well.
firstborn, and I think Slero's a half brother, but he was the one that's supposed to get all the resources and the family riches, and Slero sold him out, and so
So it basically ends up being a brother revenge story between those two, and your special benefactor Jalen turns on you, which is incredibly predictable. They even have a storyline. Like there's 2 parts of the story. In the original story, Slero is explaining, or I should say, at the beginning of the story, Slero is explaining to Kay kind of his background. Like, oh, my family grew up on Corellia as ship makers or whatever. And then, like, probably about halfway through the game, Jalen tells you almost an exact same story. And they look somewhat similar as characters if you go back and look at them.
Yeah.
Like, there's Jalen on the right, and there's Slero on the left.
Yeah.
Like, so at that point, halfway through the gameplay, I'm like, it's his brother. I get it. Okay. That makes sense now. As I kept waiting for that to come out, it doesn't come out till like the last like maybe 15 minutes.
Yep.
Gameplay. And it's supposed to be like this big twist. I'm like, yeah, but I saw it coming like hours ago. Don't
know how that works.
I didn't enjoy the third act twist. So in all, the story was kind of meh. Is it worth your time to play through it?
Maybe.
Depends. I mean, it's a Star Wars story. It's not the worst Star Wars story I've ever heard. It's not the worst video game story I've ever seen. But the question is, to complete the main storyline, probably takes you, if you do nothing else, 15 to 20 hours.
Right.
Okay.
Roughly. So if
the
you
main
want to put that
storyline was
time
the
in,
worst part of the game.
Say what?
The main storyline was the worst part of the game.
Yeah, it really didn't come together. These side stories, like how you gain some of the experts, the background of them, are actually more interesting than the main story.
Yep.
The main story, I think, is where they rushed this game. Well, we'll get to bugs and stuff in a little bit, but the main story, I think, is where they rushed the game more than anywhere.
You cannot hunt down blue bears. Sorry.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. No, you cannot.
That'd be awesome if you could kill out the blue bears.
Well, actually, that's something we'll get to later in the game that I kind of hated about this game. The open world concept works pretty well in this game for the most part.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, the worlds are good.
Mm-hmm.
There's familiar and unfamiliar worlds. You for the most part get to go where you want and do what you want in the order you want. So it works really well. There's also space. I found the space combat part to be kind of boring. Like there's really not that much, except for Kajimi, where you're in like the nebula, which actually got more annoying than anything else. The space of the other 3 planets or whatever surrounding it, the orbits, all seemed very similar.
I think that's the one place where like expansions can really help the game, because even space, you only have like 3 or 4 missions that you have to do for the main storyline. So if you don't want to do anything with space, you can pretty much completely avoid it if you want.
Yeah.
So
and most of that for the main storyline was fly to the space station, and then
I like the different space stations that I went to. There were a number of different space stations, and so I thought that was pretty cool that like you could just like have these like small worlds that you could visit.
It kind of got to the point of doing side missions where the space combat and the repetitiveness of it got so boring. I didn't want to do the side missions after a while.
Really?
Yeah, because one of the worst aspects of the open world thing, and it's not this way for just this game. A lot of games are this way, but a lot of the side missions where you earn money and stuff, contracts, I should say, with the syndicates and stuff, end up being more or less the same side mission.
And
once you've done about maybe 15 or so of them, you've pretty much done them all. Yeah. It's just now you're working for a different syndicate doing almost the exact same thing.
So now that you went through the whole story, what do you do?
Well, that's one of the other questions.
Oh, okay.
We'll get to that in a second. But the bugs and the glitches, I don't know. I didn't think they were that bad. The worst part is Kay and the facial features of Kay and other characters like constantly changing. That was kind of rough. Like,
oh yeah,
she'll have like a Funko Pop like flat face in like one cutscene, and then like later and almost in the same cutscene,
sweet.
all her
That's
facial
great.
features will return.
Huh.
And like Nyx's color changes sometimes. So at least on the Xbox version.
Wait, do you get to keep the condom that Wayseeker bought?
Yes,
on
you do. That stays with him.
Even though his color changes,
So,
he still gets
the outfits and everything you wear. I kind of covered up the jacket, but there are different outfits and different fits and everything, and they do kind of carry certain bonuses and powers and stuff. But oddly, not for Nyx, only for Kay. I thought that was a little bit odd.
Yeah, well, what do you do with Nyx? Nyx can't die.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that.
Yeah. You thought like it would expand his radius of, because he kind of has a radar, and that's kind of how he serves as your radar for the stealth missions and stuff.
Yeah, he has like those charms or whatever that can kind of enable him to distract more than one person at a time or do some of that stuff. So.
But I will say this, and this is one thing I've always hated about games, like when I put an outfit on a character, and then in a cutscene they're wearing the original outfit that's like totally different. This game does a really good job of actually keeping the outfit on the character and all that, so it doesn't like constantly change and stuff. So
fair.
One small detail, but and there were a lot of other glitches. One of the worst ones comes down to the stealth gameplay for me. I had a fair amount of problems with the stealth gameplay not working right. Sometimes like it would register, like we talked about the nubs hunting thing a minute ago. Like you can't harm. It's not like Grand Theft Auto or Red Dead Redemption where I can go into a town and shoot everybody if I wanted to. It doesn't work that way here. Like I can't shoot friendly people. Okay. That includes syndicate members that you're in like a really good reputation with. So there would be a lot of times where I'd want to go through like the Pike territory to steal something that the Pikes needed.
Yeah.
But it regarded me as such a character that everything was friendly. So I couldn't shoot them or even stun them. Everything had to be hand-to-hand combat, and I had to use basically the stealth prompt of when you're close enough to hit X, that knocks the guy out or whatever. Sometimes it doesn't always work right. So I could be close enough, but the prompt wouldn't pull up. Or the guy would see me before the prompt would be like, hey, and catch you. So I had that happen quite a bit. So there was a lot of kind of restarting for certain points. So that kind of killed the stealth gameplay for me. And there's a lot of stealth in the game. I mean,
tons of stealth.
Every mission is basically a stealth mission.
I didn't like it at first, and I got used to it, and it kind of made Nyx more fun because you get to use Nyx to like blow things up and detonate people. Like that was really fun because like instead of stealing somebody's grenade, you can have him just like trigger their grenade and just blow them up, and so you can just sit back there and Nyx will just knock out everybody for a while.
That was why I wish. So when you start the Orders of the Worlds or whatever I was talking about, like they're like, I suggest you go to, what was it first, Toshara or something first. So that's what I went to first. No, it's Tatooine. Like, I don't remember, but either which way, like the powers, the abilities that you gain or whatever didn't help my stealth at all. So like for the first probably 20 hours, I had a hard time playing the stealth because I didn't have any of the really good abilities for Nyx, and all the equipment I had sucked too. So it's like
that's hard.
Yeah. And then
are the mini games fun at all or no? What was your favorite mini game?
I hated the mini games.
Sabacc.
Yeah, Sabacc was actually pretty good. I didn't hate Sabacc. Wayseeker's stupid food mini game was the worst. It's the most pointless thing ever. All you do is like hit X, hit Y. It's
but you get to spices, and you get to see Kay have too much spice on her food and have that.
Thank God you only have to do it like 4 times the whole fucking game because it's the most pointless thing. But the worst was slicing and lockpicking.
Slicing was dumb. Yep.
Yeah. Only because 2 things happen. One, the game doesn't actually stop, which is kind of a realistic thing. I don't mind too much. So like if you're in a stealth mission and you're trying to lockpick a door, people can still shoot you, which makes sense, right? But the problem is, like, I'm lockpicking the door or I'm slicing the computer. I've done that, and then I get through the door, and then literally right inside the door is a chest I have to get into, which I also have to lockpick. And then to get out and get on a shuttle, I have to slice a computer to get information or something. Like, literally, I'm doing slicing and lockpicking every mission, what feels like about every 10 steps.
That sucks.
And you have to listen to it, and it...
Yeah, on lockpicks, it's like an audio cue. And then on it's like a little puzzle mini game for every slicing thing. So it gets easier as your abilities get better throughout the game, but they're still both really annoying. Just the frequency that you have to do it is insanely dumb.
I think my other favorite mini game was, you go to the baseball games, right? And they put on the screen, like they put the baseball under a hat, and they move the hat around, and you got to figure out which hat the baseball's still under.
For sure. Yeah.
Oh,
have
yeah,
that
it's like
mini
free card
game.
Monty kind of, yeah.
They have that mini game in there at all of the casinos, and there's just 4 hats, and so if you can get all 4 right, you get like 300 some credits or whatever.
There's also like a weird 3D version of Asteroids, which was relatively pointless. I don't know that there was ever any point to that, other than you could beat your own high score, but I don't think you earn anything for it. At least with the other ones, you earn credits or information or something. Even Sabak, you obviously earn credits, but you can also earn special tokens and stuff with it. But the Sabak is actually kind of fun because it ends up being a little more strategic because you can cheat using Nix. And also later you have like magnetic die where you can roll it and stuff. But I think before you earn the ability to cheat, the game cheats you. The first 3 times you try to play it.
Oh, you definitely get cheated.
Because like you literally like pull so it's they call it Quetzal Sabak. You have to have like the lowest hand wins. So I have like a pair of 1s, which is like the best hand. And I'm like, dude, I got this in the bag. Like I'm definitely gonna win this hand. Some other guy pulls up a pair of 1s.
Or Silop Sabak, right? Where they go double Silop beats double 1s or whatever.
Which is like a wild card Silop. And so you're like literally it feels unwinnable at first until you earn the abilities to cheat. So I don't know.
But playing against Lando was fun. Just kind of
all
fun.
Lando's expertise and side missions and stuff are based around gambling, which is very Lando-like. But I don't know what you thought of this one. Replayability, I don't know.
No, there's no reason.
I think after the main story and everything's done, and I've done enough side missions already, I highly doubt I'm going to go back to this thing. Is the thing. I'm definitely not going to do a second playthrough. It's just too much.
I'm excited for the expansions because I want to see what they do with the game.
Yeah, that's the thing. Will you go back and play the end game? I think this is where they're going to have trouble. I know people say, well, the game might get better. They're planning expansions, even if it didn't sell well. But I don't know. People aren't going to want to go back and replay it, I don't think. And I don't even know that people want to pony up. Like, let's say you didn't buy Season Pass, you bought just the game.
Yeah.
I don't know that they're going to want to pony up $30 to play more of this, assuming it's in the similar style and stuff.
So I think
I already have the Season Pass. I'll download it, I'll play it or whatever. But if there's like a third expansion not on the Season Pass, probably not getting it.
The first expansion is going to be heavy on Sabak, I think. And
yeah, it looks to be like a very. One thing I hope it's not is I hope it's not like a fetch run thing with pirates, because one of the worst things about being in space was all the stupid pirates. Like literally, there's fucking pirates everywhere.
Yeah,
like they're supposed to be like monitored by the space is supposed to be monitored by the Empire and stuff, but they're doing the worst job ever because literally there's pirates. Every time I stopped to do anything in space, a pirate showed up. I'm like, damn it.
Yeah, so. I don't know. I hope they do a third expansion that centers on space. If they do another third expansion where it really does make the space matter. So, but yeah, the first one I'm excited about because I like that. The second one I'm excited about because it's Hondo, and so we're going to learn more about like Hondo's crew fallout. So we're going to get more with I think the sheriff and Hondo and stuff like that. They're also doing mini expansions that are free. So I know there's one coming out in a couple of weeks where they're going to add a bunch of side quests as well for free. I think
they've kind of done that to try to entice people a little bit more. Yeah. They did the same thing. There was a game called No Man's Sky that was similar. It was like open world space type game. And they actually made their patch and all their expansions and everything free afterwards because it was so buggy and did so poorly when it first launched that they felt they had to make good that way to do it. But when it comes to this game, I think Ubisoft's going to try to milk it.
Yeah,
I don't know how far they'll get with people. But let's put it that way.
We'll see. I mean, if we get anything further than 2, I'm going to be surprised.
Yeah, but all in all, like I said, is it worth your time? Maybe for a playthrough, like if you can still rent games, this would be like a game I suggest everybody rent because it's not that bad for a Star Wars game. Like, I don't want to romanticize things. Star Wars as a franchise has had some of the worst video games I've ever played in my life. Like, I mean, there are some really shit video games out there for Star Wars. So as far as like a Star Wars video game goes, this wasn't all that bad. It was like a pretty, above, even slightly above average game for Star Wars.
Yeah, so, I think it was slightly above average for just games for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I gave it like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd probably be somewhere around like a 6. Like you get blown out of the water? No. Is it horrible? No. But
yeah,
the question is, will people sit down and play it more? Probably not. Like I'm probably with my 60 hours in. Oh, one of the glitches I forgot too was, by the way, about 6 of the missions are glitched. So I'm always like a big completionist guy in games like this. Like I want to try to complete everything. Yeah. I can't even do that because like 6 of the missions are glitched to the point you can't complete them, and they haven't patched them yet. So,
oh my god,
I can't even do that part. So at this point, I probably put all the time in I'm going to put into it, and probably not going to double back. Might play the expansions, but if they go anything other than what they already have out on Season Pass, probably not.
Fair. Yeah. All right. Well, that sounds like a fair review, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. That sucks. It sounds like you wasted a lot of money, actually, dude.
It's actually, I don't think I can waste money on it.
Yeah.
I like this game as much as I like the last Jedi Survivor game.
Mm-hmm. Really?
I felt like that game was so repetitive too. The first one I loved. The second one was meh. So one aspect I do like about this being an open world game, and they actually execute the open worlds fairly well. The concept, at least, of being able to go and do what you want in the order you want is unlike a game like Jedi Survivor, where when it's linear like that, you feel compelled to keep going, even though you get kind of a slog. Like this game, I could, it was one reason why this review took so long. Like I could put it down for a few days and come back to it and not really lose anything. Like I could be in the middle of a side mission or whatever and put it down and come back, and it's not like, oh my god, I got to go through this part of the story again. Yeah,
basically did a pretty good job of that. So
it's also the prettiest looking Star Wars game I think we've ever gotten.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's hard for me to say. I think Jedi Survivor was just as good. Jedi Survivor had a lot of like dark environments though, which kind of killed it as far as the beauty of that goes. Like being an open world on like planets like Tatooine and everything. Like literally, they have like viewpoints. You can like sit down and look at the world like, in the game, which
like the jungle and the waterfalls, like Akiva in particular. Like they did a really good job with that planet.
I'm not a big fan of the graphical glitches, but that might also have been the version I was playing. If you're on PC with a complete loadout PC for gaming or something, you might be doing better. But
I don't know, man. It sounds like maybe if you let them beat up like Ewoks and kick them into the water, or like people that just.
Well, that was the weirdest part. Was like it's Outlaws, right?
Yeah.
Like the game does not allow you to. First off, the choices aren't that meaningful, but it doesn't allow you to be an outlaw. It doesn't allow you to be evil. Like the thing about Red Dead Redemption or a game like that, where you're basically an outlaw in Old West time, but you're allowed to choose one side or the other. Grand Theft Auto, I can be a huge dirtbag. Yeah. There's other ways to complete the mission, but I can be the scuzziest killer on earth.
Right, dude.
This game, there's only one way, which is pretty much the good way.
What's the point of having open world if you're going to do that?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's open world, but the way the character and the story plays out feels very linear.
Yeah, and I'll say there's not really any hard battles.
Well, I'm glad you wasted $120 on this game, Wayseeker. It makes me happy inside.
I mean, like Death Troopers are supposed to be hard, but you're like you stun them and then you knock them out.
For sure.
Yeah. There's no like boss battle or something like where you have to like, that's kind of a dying concept in gaming in general. But yeah.
Marco's like, I'm never buying this game.
No, I'm never. I'm not wasting the fucking.
He's not gonna put the hours in for it either.
It sounds stupid. Yeah, especially for the money. I mean, I probably won't. By the time I'll get a gaming system,
it'll probably be about $20 in about 4 months.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. By the time I get a gaming system, it'll probably be the world will be only open for another like 30 days, and it'll shut down after that. They're just like, fuck, I give up on this. But you never know. I mean, like look at the MMO.
Knights of
the Old Republic. I mean, I think if I told you that thing was still going, would you believe me? I mean, but
no,
it is, so.
But it is. They come out with a new patch next week. I didn't put news because nobody cares about it. But They patch that thing like every month.
Yep. Yeah, commercials for this game has dried up. They've lost a lot of money on it, probably.
Yeah.
Or at least advertising wise. All right. Well, that's cool.
Tom watched the movie, so
we'll get his of what he thinks. Did he tell you what he thought of it?
The movie, because the movie wouldn't make any sense because it's like the cutscenes are like 40 seconds long.
You didn't watch it? How do you know? Did you talk to him about this?
Yeah.
When?
He was mad. He was mad because the movie didn't make sense. I'm like, it's an open world game. You can't have a movie. It's not it doesn't work that way in an open world game because you can do it in any order.
Yeah, in any order. Yeah. Okay. Well, good job. Good job, Dom. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, no offense, but like our opening thing, and I love Dom, but like his opinion for this type of like me, if it's good, you'll get me. Like if it is like Red Dead Redemption, all right, cool. Not only that, I'm gonna buy a gaming system. So like, yeah, take my opinion for something. But like his opinion, like everybody can have an opinion. It doesn't mean that you have to give a shit.
He still calls it a movie. Like if somebody's calling it a movie, like you don't need to listen to
the cutscenes. He calls it a movie.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, that's where you got me confused. One time I was like, movie? What the fuck is that?
Yeah, like it probably takes, like I said, about 15 to 20 hours to play the story. If you watch just the cutscenes, like 2 hours tops, maybe.
Oh, really? Not even.
Yeah. Pretty short. Really? Cutscenes are like a lot of the story evolves as you're like sneaking around, like during a mission. So,
all right. Well, sorry it sucked, guys.
Like I said, it wasn't the worst, but could have been better, but could have been worse too.
All right. Are you guys playing Star Wars Unlimited anymore or no?
No. I don't have time. I want to hear how you did though.
Okay, I'll talk about it. So we had the showdown. Season 2 came out. And the first season, because if for all those people that don't remember, they came out with the first run of cards, right? And those cards still, some of them are very expensive. Like the Vader's still like $85. Like they haven't dropped in price. No. They have no product of it, so it sucks. And the metas during that were pretty much Boba Fett and Sabine Wren. Those were the 2 cards that everybody played with. You pretty much did red with Sabine Wren. You did not red. You did blue. You did the ECL thing. Green. Sorry, my bad. You did it's 25 base green, so it's red. Yep. Hero. And then with Boba, there's a couple different ones. Series 2 came out with some good cards, a lot of stuff. In Series 1, I played a Tarkin deck, which is just pretty much you ramp the imps. And I did all right. I had the one guy who it was done differently. That was it was just one game. You win it, you lose it. And I had pretty much placed right outside of the top 8. So I was like, okay, this time we played True Swiss, I guess, which is just like we played 4 games. You play best of 3 out of 4 games. Huh?
4 rounds, you mean?
4 rounds, yeah, 4 rounds. Best out of 3 games each round. Guess what? The fucking metas haven't changed. Like it's still Boba Fett. Like, and I got there and said, like, yeah, well, because people were like, oh, I'm excited or whatever. And they're like, what about you? I was like, well, the metas still haven't changed. And if you didn't get the Boba Fett's and the fire sprays, and like if you didn't get a couple of like Sabine's just got bigger. Like you put the pose down with them. She's now become more expensive. Yeah. So if you're not great at the ECL thing, then like good luck. But it's just, at that point it's pure luck. If you got the better cards, if your hand is better, then you're going to win with Sabine against somebody else because there's a lot of mirrors going on. I decided to go with Tarkin again, and I added in the Vader that I had to buff it up. I added in some Crate Dragons because I went red this time instead of whatever. I went a little bit heavier on air too, and my whole thing was to try to get the air out, because if I can get the air out, I could subdue. I can never beat Boba. I just don't have a lineup to beat him, but I could definitely beat Sabine Wren. I didn't get paired up with any one of the 3 Sabine Wrens, so that kind of sucked. I got paired up with Akira, and this happened to me last time too, and this is why I think we're going to need to practice a little bit more. I did not know the actions Akira. So the first game, I was like, all right, cool. I pulled out Tarkin, I ramped everything up, and then all of a sudden he pulled out Kira, and everything lost half of its health. And I was like, yeah, oh shit. And then I got close. I got within 3 points, and he had picked apart everything else after that. So that kind of sucked. The second game, we get into it, and I know that's coming. So he goes pass. I go pass. He's like, huh? I'm like, pass. I wouldn't let him draw it out, and I beat him pretty handily. The third game, I just had a bad draw. Couldn't do it in the third game. So I lost that one, 1-1. So 2-1. Then I played a couple more. I didn't get swept by anybody. Won a couple rounds. Didn't get swept by anybody, and I ended up coming in ninth. I didn't get swept by anybody, but Boba Fett. I ended up playing a Boba Fett deck, and he beat me in 2. So, and then like I didn't beat anybody who wasn't in the bottom portion of it. But yeah, I mean, it took out a Bosk. Had a good run against a. The hell was the other one? I can't remember. But it wasn't bad. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I actually played really well. I think now I could have changed a little bit of the deck around. But I will tell you, like, one of the things lacking in this game, and it's funny because, like, first place, Boba Fett. Second place, Sabine Wren. Third place, Sabine Wren. Fourth place, Boba Fett. Fifth place, Kira. Sixth place, I can't remember what sixth place was. One of those two things. And it's like, I walked in there and somebody was like, yeah, dude, I don't care what they say, like on the internet or whatever else. It's like, it's not the internet. Like you see it. You see it when you're playing any games. It's just always those two. Mm-hmm. And for the more experienced players, like if you have any decent experience, you know how to play those hands better. But what I'll say is, yeah, I got swept by Boba Fett. But all except for one game I played against people who had way more experience than I did. And I felt like if I knew Kira in the first game, I could have probably taken that. So I actually probably would have placed in the top 5 if I would have taken the Kira. Yeah. But since I didn't, because I didn't know it, which is my fault, but I also just didn't know the actions on it. You know what I mean? Then I didn't. And then I unfortunately didn't get top 8. But then I had won a couple packs, because I won a couple rounds or whatever. Yeah. I opened the first one, Kylo Ren legendary in it, and the second one, another legendary in it. So like not a bad day all in all. So I can't go back. Huh?
I said nice.
Yeah. But so I did have so that I was kind of on tilt anyways from this week on our Wednesday thing. And I kind of wasn't, I probably could have used a little bit more sleep or whatever else because I was thinking, which should I switch around? But what really happened with this, thank you, Ruben. What really happened was on our Wednesday league, and I don't think either person did it on purpose. But like I used to be really good at real cards, like money making cards. And one of the reasons why is because you can track cards pretty well. If you can track cards pretty well, you can be pretty good. You're never going to be winning all the time, but you're going to do pretty darn good. And this one, like I had to ask somebody one time, like, yeah, where'd you get that card from?
To put Orlando on it.
They're like, well, I pulled it. Well, so that's not what and I don't think it was on purpose. But what happens is
he got it from his discard.
Yeah, what happens is it went from the discard into his burn cards, and then he used it as a what's the thing where you can smuggle it in because it looked like a smuggle card then. And the problem is too, like on these boards, nobody has it separated where everything is, and a lot of guys get glitchy and they keep counting their cards out, putting them down, counting cards out, moving around, counting cards out, looking at it. So I don't think he did it on purpose, but then all of a sudden, like I had gone to it, and I wish they would make a digital version of this. They do. It's called Calabash. You could, if you go to SW, somebody put it in there. Put them in there, SW, or hit me up personally for Deadly Venoms at the Instagram, and I'll send you the 2 links. But you can definitely play it that way. And you don't even have to form your own cards. SWUD is it?
Carabas. Carabas.net.
Carabas is a simulator.
Is a simulator, but you got
SWUD is the database.
Yeah, you can go to the database, and they have pre-made decks that you can take, just copy them, and then you can put it into the Calabash thing and like play, because that's where I try to train sometimes. But so that happened. So he ended up. I was there. I was like, "Holy crap, I got you! Like it's good." And he's like, "Yeah, you do." And I played the first one out. He had 2 hit points left, but then he was like, and he just kept, and he does it. He started looking through his deck, and he's like, wait, and you could see him like go like this, and then all of a sudden he pulled out the smuggle card, and I was like, that wasn't like I knew it was in your discard because you played it earlier in the round and you didn't have it there. And I just asked him, and he's like, it was in my thing, and I was like, yeah, but like, where did it come from? Like trying to hint, and he's like, it was just there, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to argue about it, fair enough. But then, so then the very next guy I play, he goes really fast, but he's wild. Like he's just like, yeah, la, 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 la. He's got shit everywhere. It looks like a fucking disaster area, like a hurricane took over. We get to turn 5, and he's like, and I'm up right now, and I can't remember what leader he had because it was draft. By the way, this was in draft. So like I know that the one guy didn't have too many of the same cards because it was draft 2, and I saw his deck before, so I knew it wasn't in there. But like the second guy, all of a sudden he goes, and then you go, okay, cool. And he goes, and then I'll do this because I have 6 and I'll do this. And I was like, he's like, I'll pull this guy and then I'll drop this card. I go, you don't have 6. He's like, yeah, I do. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 resources. And I'm like, yeah, we're turn 5. And then he's like, oh, but no, it's 6. I have 6. And I'm like, yeah, no, you don't have 6. And then he's like, well, we'll go back and play it. And how the cards that I was playing was wiping out a lot of.
You can't go back.
Yeah, you can't go back. So now he's got cards everywhere, and he's shuffling. And he's like, and this one, and then this, and then see, you knocked these 3 out here because I had done a board wipe already. And he's like, no, but it was because. And I'm like, there's no way you can go back, man. What are you gonna do? And this is what sucks. The guy, that guy, and it sucks that happened. But once again,
you should never go back in any kind of official event.
Yeah. Well, this wasn't. This was just this is our casual draft. It was casual draft, not
but still, you can't go back.
You can't go back, but you could go back. There's no way to go back, and that's why I was like, dude, man, like, hold on, like, I've been playing with you. We've been dropping. I'm not calling a pass on something at like where am I passing for? But at first, said like, how'd you resource? He's like resource. And then we looked. There was no resources. Then you're like, no, we're on 6. We can call it back. And I'm like, dude, you just said you resourced it. Like use like one of the cards that comes back afterwards. You don't have that there, and then you're not. And at that point, like I'm not in the business of arguing with motherfuckers. So I'm just like, oh, whatever. Well, guess what? He won a pack too, and then guess what? He opened that pack, and it had showcase in it.
Oh,
yeah,
that's hard. Yeah,
I congratulated him on the showcase, but that was tough because like I'm like, not only did. Accidents happen. I get it. It's casual. So how big of a deal are you going to make it out of it? But then like on top of that, you're like, and like legitimately, like the one guy for sure that had the smuggle thing, whatever happened there, it was like 1,000% an accident. And I get it. Like stuff happens. The second guy, it was kind of his own fault. And I did call him out like, yo, bro, like we're on turn 5. How do you have 6 resource cards? And that was just like, he literally was just picking up. I think even more cards were getting shuffled up at that point because then he's picking these, he's putting these down here. And then
I play against those people. They're so frustrating.
But dude, once it gets so messy, I'm just like, and the problem with it is because I count cards, like,
yeah,
like I know where it is. Like I know. Especially draft because it's like 30 cards, bro. Like that's not hard. Easy. That's so easy to memorize the fucking hands, dude. So fucking easy. So like you're not pulling out, but that's the problem too. If you're at a 6 in a draft, so that you can pull out your leader and your finisher, like yeah, then it goes sideways all of a sudden. You're like, what the fuck, man? So I got screwed.
Going back to what you're saying though, I think the meta will change. Like I don't have time to play it, but I've been following all the spoilers, and I actually think some of these leaders are going to enter into the meta where it's not just going to be Boba and Sabine.
Dude, Boba Fett. It's a 2-part problem. Boba. Well, here's the biggest problem. Boba and Sabine both got a lot better. With the cards you can put in there now.
Well, so there's the concept of power creep, right? Which power creep is where the newer stuff makes the older stuff obsolete, essentially. There's also reverse power creep, which I think when you have situations like this where they basically planned out like 9 sets, like sometimes reverse power creep actually becomes more of a problem where your older stuff remains powerful because even though there may be newer stuff that comes along the line, some of that newer stuff benefits the older stuff in a way that's not seen That makes sense.
Yep.
Well, so that's one thing with the Vader card too, like, because if you can get green there, well, so here's the perfect example for Sabine. Sabine used to be super fast, but you have to play both K2SOs, and you have to pull a cause to believe in, because if you didn't pull that, you weren't finishing off fast enough, and you'd be done. Mm-hmm. Now you have Wrecker there. And by the way, with Wrecker, you can trigger your K2SO so you can avoid any Sentinels, and you're doing 4 damage there, and then you've got a guy out on the 6th turn, which was ECL'd out for overdrive, and you're hitting whatever the Sentinel is and pushing the extra damage. So you're really getting about probably anywhere from 6 to 8 damage on one fucking play, dude, which is wild, bro.
I also think ECL might get nerfed at some point. I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, you can never convince me that, like, when planning set 4, for instance, they know exactly all the effects that those set 4 cards are going to have.
There's always
set 1.
No.
So
I just hope that the cards that come out in the next set, because I like ramping, and I know, like, you're going to be able to put tons of characters down. Like, I just wish that somehow they would have a word trigger for the clones that would also be, because if you could use the Tarkin ramp with the Clone Wars ramp, I think you'd be able to do something there, because it would negate. You'd be able to defeat a lot of numbers with Sabine, and actually you'd have the backing where if they tried to pull that fire, like, dude, I had a guy pull the one guy that I played Boba. I had him, I thought, because I wiped fire spray out and both his Boba Fett and his leader all in like one turn.
Mm-hmm.
And then he pulled out another fire spray, like back-to-back fire sprays. And I was like, what can you do with that? I mean, like, what can you
lose?
You could lose. I mean, I used overdrive on it, so I wiped out a bunch of stuff. And then you know what he did? He ended up wiping my board out, and then just nothing left. But the problem too is I did have a lot of space, so that's how I was winning some of those games. But I lost a really close game. I lost a game by a guy literally pinged me to death with just, I can't remember what the ship is, but it was a 3-2, and every turn 3 damage, 3 damage, 3 damage, 3 damage, and he did 21 worth of 3 damage, and I couldn't pull a single space card. Not one. Not one.
That's the worst.
Not one. It was
cards.
Fucking horrible. And I was like,
those games, you just bad draws, games like that, you're boned.
Yep. That's why I said it. That's why I was like, dude, because I like him too. He's like a good guy. I've known him for a bit now. He plays a lot of different places. He manages, and it's like, man, you didn't like make a mistake. You played everything right. And I was like, that's okay though. Like, I'll take that L. I'll take the L. Cura I fucked up on, but after Cura, I didn't mess up. I swept the game. I went 2-0. So like, I didn't make a single mistake after that. Huh?
There's games you learn from, right? Like the Cura game, you learned from that.
Yeah.
You now know what Cura does. You know how to fight it. But there's games where you just have bad draws, and the ladders where you just have bad draw.
Yeah,
Cura games you would play overpowered decks that you can't compete in. Like
the Boba deck. The minute I drew that Boba deck, I'm like, oh, fuck. And this guy's like, it's not even my deck, it's my buddy's deck. I already won a tournament in this. And I'm like, yeah, so you didn't even fucking buy any of the cards. You're showing up with your friend's deck again.
Or take time to build the deck.
To anything like that. He's like, I'm just a Magic player. And he's like, oh, you think I'm weird because I use Magic
makes sense.
And I'm like, I don't know. I go, dude, you're just talking. I'm not even listening. Like, some of these guys talk, and I'm like, I don't fucking listen to a word you fuck say anyway. So what the fuck do you think I get? Like, he's talking. I finally realized he's talking to me. I was like, bitch, I wasn't listening to shit you said anyways. What the fuck? Like, I know. Like, hey, dude, I go like, yeah, I've never really played anything besides this game. He's like, oh, you just think I'm weird because I'm using all these words or all these magic words. I'm like, dude, I wouldn't know if you're fucking talking Chinese. I don't speak that shit either.
Did he tell you how he's gonna cast Vader's lightsaber with?
I don't know, bro. I didn't hit. I saw Boba Fett. Heard that it wasn't even his deck, bro. I heard Boba Fett, not even my own deck. And you know what I said to that? The fuck's going on with this one? When's this gonna be over with? I was just trying to sneak one out on him. You know what I mean? I was just trying to get one away on him. But here's another thought too, dude. Bro, they serve pizza.
Yeah.
Why? But I got a boy. My boy. Like, I've got a really good friend now from this thing. It's you, Wayseeker. It literally is you. Like, we talk shit all the time, too. I'm like, why is this guy even my friend? He's an asshole. He, like, told somebody, he's like, hey, make sure you beat him. Like, he told one of the people that I ended up to, and he's like, hey, don't let him ramp. Make sure you beat him. I was like, dude, you're not. What are you even doing that for? You're an asshole. You're supposed to be friends. And, like, everybody laughs. You know, it's a good thing. He's just like you. And so they get all these Costco pizzas, which they shout out to the place, Game & Co. Like everything they did. They gave away prize bags. They made these personal like mats and stuff that they auctioned off. They really did you right, man. They really did. They did a great job with the thing. But they bought Costco pizza, which this is why I hate going to kids. Like if your kid has Costco pizza at your birthday party, my kids won't be showing up to their next birthday party. Like we ain't doing it. Fuck Costco pizza. It's not good. Okay. Spend a little bit extra.
Those are the big square pizzas, right?
Oh, they're circle, but they're huge. They're also huge.
Yeah,
they're big circle.
They're huge.
They're like 24-inch pizzas. It's ridiculous.
Oh, dude.
I've had them before, and
they're all over the place in there. There's prisons everywhere.
Like Little Caesars is better.
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah. No, it's about the same.
Can't take back.
Wait, hold on. $5 hot and ready's. It's about similar. Little Caesars, like if you actually get a pie from Little Caesars and you got to spend more than like $10 on it,
make them make it. Don't get the pre-made.
Yeah, don't get the pre-made. The pre-made's cheap.
Get the pre-made stuff.
But no, so I mean, it's not great, but it's like they over sauce it with a sauce that doesn't taste like anything. The cheese is just mid. The pepperoni does. Anyways, but okay, that's not even it. So the guys get there, and my buddy's like, "Yo," he's like, "I'm like, what?" He's like, "Is there any pizza?" He's like, "Dude." There's two guys were playing. They'd only gotten through 2 rounds. It's slow as shit. They're in their second overtime. Like they did the 5 minutes. Then he's like, dude, it's like next play. They took another 15 minutes on that, right? Like just forever. So he's like, I'm like, what's up? He's like, dude, I want more pizza because like, and he's small. He's like you. He's tiny. I don't know how the fuck you kids eat everything. I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, well, I don't want to. I go, dude, there's these fucking slices are huge. I go, there's a half a cheese pizza over there. There's 3/4 of fucking pepperoni. He goes, okay. I was like, what are you okay? He's like, well, I go, if those 2 fucking dudes eat a whole fucking pizza from Costco by themselves, you still got at least 2 pieces you could get off that piece. And he's like, oh, all right. So then he goes for cheese. I go, get a fucking piece. I know you don't want to eat that bullshit. Get a piece of pepperoni. So he gets 1 of each. Again, he had 5 fucking slices. I did not know that. 5 fucking slices. And then comes up to me a little bit later. It's like, yo, dude, I should have had that last piece because I was like, okay, good. So, of course, the one toilet they had there blown out. Secret tip for you guys in card shops. Let me explain something to you. Secret tip for any of you people. For some of you single guys, sometimes I get it. You get bubbly guts. Here's what you do. If you got to drop one, right? What you do is you take some, everybody's got it now. They got the soap dispenser, right? You take the soap from the soap dispenser, you take 2 shots, put that in the toilet. What happens there is the oil gets on the top of the water, traps in your fucking booty mud butt stank, all right? And then it also releases, when you flush, a nice perfumey thing. Do that, because, like, I had to go pee, and I was trying to hold it, but, like, eventually I had to go in there, and you fucking, not my boy, not my friend, but, like, my other friends there, like, that bathroom was locked for 45 minutes. Dude, and then
why do they always order pizza at car shops?
I had to pee so fucking bad. Like it wasn't like a quick pee. It was like a, oof, and you're peeing for 10 minutes and I'm doing this fucking thing. I got this working on here, doing this. It's still smelling poo gas. Like, holy shit. All right. So then,
it's not always pizza though, JJ. Lots of times it's Taco Bell. Taco Bell's the worst.
Oh, like, dude, there's a Chinese place next door, so they get fucking Chinese too.
They
fucking, dude. Hold on. I saw some
fingers all over the cards,
bro. I saw one person down 4 pieces of pizza and then eat some some applesauce, but it wasn't applesauce. It was like some other shit. Like nobody eats like adults. There's no adult food ever.
No.
Fucking, there's granola bears or whatever the fuck. Like nobody eats anything, which is funny because the place got charcuterie, like little pre-made charcuterie shit in the refrigerator. Like I don't even know why you got that. Nobody's gonna eat that shit here, bro. So this is the point I'm trying to get to. So my homeboy, yeah, whatever, Wayseeker 2.0, right? Wayseeker 2.0.
He's
Comes
doing
out
blitz.
after business. I was like, all right, cool. You better? He's like, yeah, fucking Jesus. And by the way, he ends up taking top 3 spots. So like, I was like, I loaned him 3 Poe Damerons, and I was like, bro, you better. The guy, I loaned him 3 Poe Damerons, and he's telling people how to beat me and telling them to make sure they fucking beat me. Like, what a dick.
Yeah.
He's such a Wayseeker. So, so he comes out there, and I'm like, you good? He's like, yeah. And then all of a sudden, I see him like, the eye snapped something. I'm like, what the fuck's this dude looking at? And he's watching this guy. So like, there's 2 rooms in this gaming shop. There's like a bigger room that's got like 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 tables, 11 4 tops. And there's another room, the front room, that's got 4 tops. Okay. And then it's got the cash register, a bunch of other shit. Somebody comes from that front room into this room, and the minute he does, whole boy's eyes snap on him. I'm like, oh shit, what's going on here? So I go look around to see what it is. It's just another one of you card dorks being dorky card dudes. I'm like, what the fuck ever? He's got like some, you know, what's the guy's name with the where's the headband thing from the Akira or whatever? Not Akira. What's the fucking
Naruto.
You guys all love that anime goofball. The little guy with the blonde hair.
Naruto. I just told you.
Haruto, yeah. Yeah. He's got some of that type of shit going on or whatever.
Yeah.
What the fuck's going on in his life? Who knows? But I mean, he's on a card shop on a Sunday. And I know what's going on because as soon as I see, you know where I'm going with this, right, Wayseeker? He see his eyes snap. He don't say shit. He just does this one. And you know, of course, he's playing Pokemon or some shit on his fucking thing. Like, go get him. He stopped. He ain't even looking down anymore. Now he's just doing this. And my back's to the pizza, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, this of course Haruto guy is fucking taking pizza.
Yeah,
and you just see him, and I'm like, wait, bro, why are you so mad? First off, you just told me you had to evacuate your bowels because you ate too much of this Costco goddamn pizza. Number 2, everybody got some. Like, we're about to start in 2 minutes. Who gives it? Who wants old Costco? A homeboy wasn't having it. He went whoop, and then just did this on the way out.
Hey, Wookie, you missed it. You missed a good show.
Oh. Hey, happy Sunday, Wookie.
Well, Dom's not here because it's a pickle party. So
I guess. Oh, shout out. By the way, also, I should have done this earlier. The Horde, he hasn't been here lately because he's working on Sundays now, but he still is fanatic Horde. Got to see him. I went to the Monday night. I told y'all, got the little Disney suite going on for Monday Night Football. Got to hang out there. That place was wild as shit too. So that was wild. But you see what I'm saying though? Wayseeker, why are you guys always so mad where they're taking your $5? It ain't like nobody here paid for the pizza. The place gave us the pizza.
You didn't play. You didn't play for the pizza.
But he's playing some other bullshit.
Play for the pizza.
He's playing some other bullshit.
Huh? No, you gotta play the right game.
JJ, do you believe in those
games?
That's nonsense. The pizza's for the shop, not just one game.
I mean, they did bring it for the game, but like if it's left over, yeah, but we're about to start.
Doesn't matter.
It's left over. It's nobody's eating. You're not eating. Fucking everybody already coughed and touched on Costco open pizza.
We aren't comic people. We got rules, and one of the rules is you only get pizza if you play the right game.
I don't know, man.
Sounds elitist.
Yeah,
we are elitist, no doubt about it. That's how card games.
Go back and play your Magic the Gathering or your.
Yeah, that's Well, I think Haruto. I think Haruto guy. I think was playing Magic the Gathering. I think he was playing Magic the Gathering.
If you lost to that guy, I'm so disappointed in you. You have to show these Magic people that they don't belong and that they're no good. Like that is your.
They're like all that. Like, everybody played this game.
Star Wars card player.
What? I don't give a shit.
But you need to have a rival,
bro. Hold on, slow down. Hey, slow down.
No, it's just...
if in your life, let me just give you some advice. I'm gonna help you out. If in your lifetime you're in a card shop on a Sunday afternoon when it's nice outside and you're wearing like a Haruto outfit and playing fucking Magic and playing Magic.
Hold on. He's playing Pokemon.
No. My buddy was on the phone playing the Pokemon thing and was eyeballing him.
Okay.
Was eyeballing him the whole time. Yeah, you would have liked him because he was you. He was giving the best there. Yeah. I was like, well, fucking say something about it. I don't give a shit. But if you find yourself going over to 2-hour old ass pizza that everybody's already picked at and you feel like you're going to eat
you
that
give
food.
that pizza to the birds because the birds need it and not that magic player.
Birds didn't play the
There's
game
no
either.
way that magic player gets
I'm
the
telling
pizza.
you though, if
The
in your
birds,
life,
the fish,
no,
the deer, I don't care what it is.
No,
that
wait a
magic player
second.
does not get
if
that
your
pizza.
life is to the point that you're the dude that's walking in there to eat that pizza, you got it rough enough, dude. I'm not eyeballing you. But dude, I felt the heat off my man. My man had so much heat coming off of him. He was so upset. I think he lost 2 Pokemon instead of catching them because he was just eyeball the fuck out of him. I almost said something too, but I found it so humorous. I was just like, "Oh, you are eyeballing the shit out of this dude for no. You're not gonna say shit about it. And he probably was going like, how many pieces is that motherfucker taking?
Yep.
I knew I should have eaten another piece." Dude, you couldn't even fit another piece in you.
If only I had the force, I would drag that pizza away from him and like slam
Dude,
it.
I think he was thinking like, oh, he almost went to the street.
Pizza was such a guarded commodity.
Yeah. It's fucking Costco shit pizza. I don't know.
Not the point.
But shout out to Fanatic Horde. Speaking of that, he stopped by. He was also at the Lions game. We got to hang out, which is always fun for a little bit. Came down from the suite level, hanging out a little bit. And then he took me to, he's also balling too. He's got like the VIP treatment. So I went from VIP treatment to VIP treatment. So shout out to him. Thank you for watching. Thank you for everything like that. Dude, that suite, I think that suite thought we were going to tune it up like we normally do. And it's like, it's a fucking Monday, bro. Like, we got to work and shit. So then they start ordering all types. They're like, what do you want to drink? And I told them they started ordering all bottles of liquor, but they didn't run through. Like, I thought they think we were going to be our normal party selves. I didn't. I had like maybe 3 drinks. Like, dude, it's a fucking Monday. Maybe 6, but whatever.
3, maybe 6. Maybe
but
12.
that's like the, hey,
no, I can't count that.
That's close enough. Like, you know what I mean? That's not a lot to drink, right? But then all of a sudden, like they started, well, because you got budgets for this. So they did, like, we weren't anywhere close. Like, I mean, there's a couple other people there too, but it wasn't anywhere close to the budget. So they kept trying, like, oh, yeah. I'm like, no, I'm good. My wife's like, yeah, I'm good. The good game was great. Go Lions, fucking awesome. But then all of a sudden we turn around and like all the hosts from Disney are like slashed, dude. They're like done. And I look around, there's all these champagne bottles. So like after they figured out like we're not fucking drinking anymore, they decided to just order up fucking huge ass bottles of fucking Moet or whatever. And woof, they had a good night too. So shout out to them. Thank you for the hospitality. It was fun. We had a great time. Everybody was great. And shout out to Horde. Good to see him as always. Hopefully see him at a couple cons coming up. All right. That's a good show. It's going to be short. We've been trying to shorten our Sunday shows down a little bit. We got a lot of stuff going on. So next week, Dom's supposed to be away from the pickle party. And
he might be back at it. Who knows?
Well, I mean, it was his birthday. You got to give him a break.
I give him a break, but I also give him a hard time. Stop.
Yeah, it's fun. All right, guys. All right. Anybody else have anything? Make sure you check out all the stuff on the channel. Good to see everybody. No? Good?
We're good.
Yep, good.
Good night, everybody.
All right. Yeah, good night. I'm trying to get out of here.